All right. How's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome. We are 1 week. Actually, we're more like 6 days and a couple hours. Actually, what's the counter up there say? Away from experimental 2. And we are 6 days, 21 hours. I guess I have it to midnight. I don't know what time I have it to. Yeah. Anyways, I don't think we're getting link local messaging done, and I don't know if we're gonna get conversation serialization done either, but we're gonna do some stuff, so here we go. Okay, this is not gonna be a huge hydrate because I just drank a bunch of water and this is full. I cannot chug all this right now. I got about half. Yeah, so we're well, firstly we're gonna do is I just noticed Team City has an update, and Team City updates you tend to want to do right away because they're usually fixing security issues, because CI stuff always gets hit with security issues because it is a huge target, because it tends to have sensitive stuff like keys and access to everything else in your infrastructure. We purposely built ours to not have any of that because of those reasons. But I'm doing a test build here to make sure this works right. And then we will let the build agents build it, and they go from there. But hope everyone's doing well. I'm glad to hear you got your stickers, Ubuntu. Welcome. Yep, glad to hear that. But welcome. And Icarus Mad, hope you're doing well. And Mr. Love Pickle as well. So one of the things we'll probably do tonight, so Haya is kind of stuck. I'm on my 3rd or 4th design of stuff now, and I think this one's good, but I thought the other ones were good too, so who knows. And we released Seagull 03, but that's not quite everything we wanted to be able to do the conversation serialization. I wanted to add a bind object and a column object that will read properties. You give it a G type, and then it'll read the properties and stuff and figure it out for you. I hit a minor snag there. It's not a huge deal, but we need to decide what to do. Most G-object properties, if they are multiple words or something, they're delimited by a dash, and that is not valid for a named parameter in SQL. So you could use an underscore, but then we have to convert that, which is probably fine, but I got stuck on it like Saturday night, and then was just like, well, that's the thing for now. And then maybe it was last night, I don't know. And then I was trying to work on stuff last night, and I was just really tired, so I didn't get really far because I've been pushing too hard. So that's the deal. Team City 2025.03. So we build our own custom container for Team City because the Mercurial, I just checked it in here. The version of Mercurial, their image is still based on Ubuntu Jammy. Right, so we do all these updates. Oh no, yeah, I think we were on update whatever. Right, this is still based on Jammy. And then we uninstall Mercurial. That's in here somewhere. Because then we update to get 6.94. We might uninstall it first. Yeah, so we purge Mercurial comment, and you'll notice as it uninstalls, it's version 6.1.1. And we install 6.9. No Noble yet? Yeah. Don't look at me. I don't know. How's it going, EQX? Hope you're doing well. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and push that. So we're gonna let CI build its thing, and then we'll go from there. That's not gonna show anything dicey, is it? I don't think so. No, good, okay. What's new? UI updates, yeah. I was like, they changed the UI for Team City or for UTrack. I assume they're gonna do it for Team City as well. So we'll see how that goes. The edit project configuration mode is replaced with the settings toggle. Ooh. The view and edit modes toggled by this UI element use different accent colors for distinguishing between the two at a glance. In addition, the Team City stays in the selected mode unless you explicitly switch it. This means once you switch to project configuration settings, you can navigate to another configuration project without exiting edit mode. Interesting. That'll be nice during a spin up. Build. Oh, interesting. This used to be a sidebar. Now they're tabs. I don't know that I like that. But we'll see. The headers of project configuration build pages have been redesigned for a lighter, more compact, and improved visual visibility. For example, builds now display key details, repository branch, total build time, queue time, and more in dedicated blocks, where the action menu is accessible via the ellipsis button next to run. Huh. That looks a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Meta runners are evolving to recipes, while the core concept remains, creating custom build steps for frequently used actions. This transition offers multiple key benefits. Define recipes in XML or in future releases YAML. Use built-in recipes, scratched by teams. Is this different than templates? I don't know what the fuck a meta runner is. I haven't done a meta runner. Open parameters, don't care. Perforce support. Ooh, Docker and Podman enhancements. Health report that alerts you to disconnected but authorized agents, helping you identify issues. Oh, interesting. That's something they've needed for a while. Alright, well, I'm already starting this process, so... I don't think we have search QL. Oh, they updated to Mercurial 6.11. They updated to 6.11. Which is why we uninstall it and instead install 6.9.4. Oh boy. No potential breaking changes. Bundle tool updates. Alright, so I don't know what the important shit they were trying to tell us was. So like the fixed issues, it's gonna be like usually there's like 8 security issues. Security. 11 security problems have been fixed. This number includes both native TeamCity issues and vulnerabilities found in third-party libraries TeamCity depends on. Upstream library issues usually make up the majority of this total number and are promptly resolved by updating these libraries to the newest versions. To learn more, blah, blah, blah. They don't tell you what the security issue is until later, which is fine. I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's okay, right? They don't want people like actively knowing what the problems are until like, you know, the majority of people are patched, which is fine. Q has 4 builds. Oh, this is gonna be the Mac builds. Yeah, I need to get a Mac runner going. Okay, so wait, no, there's an agent that's building. Was building. Projects. Grim. Containers. TeamCity server. What's a minute ago? All right, let's update TeamCity here. Gates, group control -N, I am freedom, rollout, restart, deployment /CI. But yeah, so one of the things we need to start doing is we need to start getting the change log together for experimental 2. And I feel like there's not going to be a lot, but at the same time, there probably is a lot. Like I really wanted to get another protocol working. But just time has become the issue. I got tied up in a lot of bullshit this cycle. But we do almost have 2 new libraries built and functional in this cycle, which is crazy when you think about it, right? But that accounted for a lot of the time, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That said, the IRC support got better. We still don't have command support, but everything else is pretty good so far. Yeah. All right. This is gonna have to do an update thing, so we are going to logs -F We're gonna hide this while this is going, because I gotta get the magic token here. Is it already added? That can't already be added. Data upgraded. Oh, I meant to do a thing, a backup first, but that's okay. Oh, okay, okay. I can do a backup from here. Please note that the data cannot be downgraded. If you need to return to an earlier Team City version, you can only restore the data from a backup. Yep. Data, backup data before upgrade, backup data, Team City data, dirt backup. Upgrade. Cool. This is kind of nifty. They didn't used to have this whole setup before. But this is cool. Again, don't know if it's going to leak anything, so we're just going to hide that for the time being. But yeah, so we're going to have to go through and start building out the change log, which is okay. When we get to a week beforehand, I don't really want to start doing new features or trying to get new features in because it's a week, right? It's very possible that we could get stuff fixed. We could bust out a whole new feature and everything, but then we might have to do an immediate release, which not a huge deal. But my next week is nuts. There is a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, what in the... Oh, how the fuck did I manage that? I apparently made a mess of a mess in my directory here. I must have pasted something with like touch or something. Code, line, and message. Okay. I know you can't see anything yet. We're, well, we can probably jump back over here. Alright, so, GLG minus V. Oh, we should probably do this from clean, but whatever, it's fine. So, we need to go back to December. Oh, yeah. Those ones, whoops. Let's just do this, minus B default. Where are we here? January 28th. So we're gonna do like for the libraries and stuff like that. We pretty much just do every commit that went into it. The problem is Pidgin has a lot more stuff going into it, and if we were to document every single thing that we do for each release, it's gonna be nuts. So all right, there's the prepare for the next round of development. Use G-string free and steal. Most people won't care about that. Don't send typing messages and status conversation. Maybe. Add the badges on Pidgin message when the user doesn't have any. That worked a little differently than the way it did. We've undid it since then. So this is a big one. Add the quote command to this. Change log 2.91.0. This is going to be 0331. Actually, it's going to be 0401 because it's UTC time. By the time I release it, it's going to be that. Oh, no. We did... Okay, never mind. We did 2.90.0 on the 31st, and then the next day we had to immediately do a fix. There's 31 days in March. So, yep. This was RR. Oh, this was actually... Pidgin that. RR. Man, we did this that long ago? Jeez, 3719. This is the thing, too, right? Like, a 3-month dev cycle sounds kind of short, but it's also super long. We did have these separated out. Well, let's get stuff in, and then we'll figure out which way we want to go, right? We're going to take the, the big things that people actually care about. Yeah, like, use G timeout, add once where possible. Okay. But, like, most people are going to read that in the changelog and be like, what the fuck does that mean? Um, Same deal with this one, right? Make sure we notify an end items property. Add a comment of the members above the member list in conversation. We're going to skip that one because we have a better one, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So this was the old setup where we just put the number there, whereas now it's a search box and it shows the members in there. So you can search from it and it just shows the member count as well. So we're going to wait till we get to that one. Clean up some old random stuff. Great. Who cares? Okay, yep. Old workarounds are no longer necessary. Simplify that API. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about resubclassing. Switch the Mason project name to Pidgin 3. Nobody cares. Remove purple conversation name. I guess that's kind of a big deal. I mean, we had an issue for it, right? Basically, if we have an issue for it, we should probably put it in here. But, like, if there's not an issue, we probably won't. Unless it's, like, you know, equally big for some reason. Virtual setting the title description as well, some blah, blah, blah. I guess we have an issue for it, right? If that's our metric, that's our metric. Well, Team City's up. 37-38. All right. Version of Java used by some of the agents will no longer be supported in the future version of Team City. Please upgrade to Java version 21. That sucks, but that's also a good thing. Because it's a real pain in the ass. Oh, okay. Agents using old Java. Yep. Basically all of them. So 1, 2, and 3 are just Linux guys. I can update them real easy. 4 is Raspberry Pi. I can update real easy. 5 and 6 I think will be fine too. That's FreeBSD and OpenBSD. Okay. That's cool. If we can go to Java 21, that's sweet. We don't have to run Java 8 anymore. About fucking time. All right. Add properties to track whether the conversation properties are editable. Oh, right. This sounds weird, but the idea here, and this probably should have been worded better, but it's okay. This is like you're the protocol can say that you can edit the topic and description of the channel and stuff like that. That's what this is for. It's just, unfortunately, the commit message was worded kind of weird. It would have been easier if I just said it that way, but what are you going to do, right? Because, like, we don't want to give you an edit box for a topic if you can't edit it, right? What's the point? Pidgin 2 will let you do that, but again, what's the point? Yeah, so this covers avatars, descriptions, titles, and topics. Yeah. Was it 1826? Yeah. Okay. Simplify the Flatpak instructions. This recommends getting Flatpak Builder from FlatHub and tells it to install dependencies from FlatHub. I also ignored the repo, blah, 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 blah. There's not a ticket on this, but this is going to be... People are like, oh, okay, yeah, I had issues with that. Like, okay, cool. This'll make it easier for you. We should probably do this monthly. Just thinking out loud here. This is January 14th. An alias property, purple conversation member. Yep. $37.49. I don't think we deleted that yet, but that's okay. We didn't put a ticket on this, but we'll leave it for now. Update Pidgin for the purple deprecation. Remove author name color. Okay, I guess we did finish that. Rename purple take pars to purple take split. I guess. I will put the last one in here too. The creating of the color thing. So this is like for here in Twitch, you know, you all have a name color or whatever, right? Overall Twitch, or I think YouTube does too. But like overall, I think you get the same color for your name everywhere. But other protocols, especially like Discord, right? On one Discord server, you could be green. On another one, you could be orange, and it all depends on your roles and stuff, right? So we need a way to represent that, and that's what this is. But then we also, this allows us to, or allows the user to go ahead and change it. Right, so like a user, I don't think he's here right now, but it's fine, but I'm going to call him out anyways. SWK has a username that's purposely hard for people to read on a dark screen, because that's what he wanted to do, right? But like Better Twitch TV or FFZ, I don't know which one it is, fixes the color so I can read it. So like I don't have to worry about it. And by having that property, so even if the user doesn't set it manually for them, a plugin can come in and then set the color for the user to make it more visible and stuff like that. So you know, there's lots of use cases. That's the word I'm looking for. Lots of use cases for it. I don't care about attachment inline right now. This is more laying groundwork. Like we don't do anything else about it. So yeah. Yeah. Why don't we start doing all this? Was it just I had the idea we started going? Oh, that's right, because I wanted to start building out the message stuff. We couldn't do that yet. Yep. I mean, do we put this stuff in? Hold on. Let's do this real quick. V HGLG minus V dash dash or minus B default dash dash date 2024-01-01 to 2024-2025. A bit of a difference there. 0331. I said data. I meant date. All right. So first of all, just out of curiosity. Wow. Okay. But I'm more interested in. Oh, that's the problem. Hold on. LG does the graph. And that's where stuff got messed up. Okay. Numbers didn't change. Okay, that's fine. So it should be 81 commits. Okay. So there's 81 commits. Do we want to put 81 things in the change log? One, two, three, four, five, six. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. We only had 39 for the first 3.0 release. So no, we do not want to put all 81 in place. So, okay. Easily solved, right? Where were we? Okay, we were at the attachment stuff, yep. Don't set the conversation name property as it was removed. Yep, that's not changelog worthy. Fix some broken stuff with badges and demo and IRCv3. Nope. Change the icon for toggling the member list. Originally, side panel was maybe going to be used for more than members, but we since decided to make it just show members. As such, making the icon relate to the user seemed appropriate. I also added a margin around the icon box. I don't know. That doesn't seem changelog worthy, does it? Make all the sub-projects use tarballs. I guess we can do that. This is something that, if anybody's compiling, they're going to run into. It's kind of annoying, but it's okay. Part of the difference is it gets everybody off of our... what are you saying? No issue, colon. Like, are you trying to tell me to change a commit message from 3 months ago? Or what are you saying? Oh, okay. Oh, I worded it the other way. I said if it has an issue, then it goes in the change log. But there's stuff that doesn't have an issue that can go in the change log. Because sometimes we just do stuff without making an issue, right? That happens. But like if it has an issue, right, then we should put it in the change log. So issue like the changelog entry is a superset of issues that or of commits that have issues and some issues that don't. See what every mobile app does when you update and put improvements and bug fixes? Yeah, we try to do a bit better than that. Also, most apps don't have a library that others can use. So, yeah. But yeah, so like all the like attachment stuff, like there weren't issues for it, and it doesn't really affect anybody right now, because nothing has support for attachments anymore, right? Like we can't even display them. What I mean by attachments is like a file or a picture or whatever when it gets attached to a message. Like Matrix doesn't actually do attachments. Matrix images are separate messages. Messages have a type of audio, I think, media, maybe file, and then text. Whereas many other protocols will have attachments where you have a message that has attachments, which can be images or whatever, and so on. So, to make it work easier for us, like Matrix will be a little weird, but it's okay. Like a Matrix message will have no content in our... If somebody sends you a picture on Matrix in libpurple 3, the message will have no content, but it will have an attachment, which is the image. Which is a little weird, but it's okay. Right? It's not the end of the world. Alright. When creating conversation, make sure we have participants. That's not changelog worthy. Create a conversation member widget. This could be changelog worthy, but most users won't care. This has an issue, and this would, so if this didn't have an issue, I would still do this because anybody creating a protocol plugin, this would affect them. So there's stuff like that, right? Where like sometimes we don't think, or we forget to create an issue, or we just are lazy and don't do it, whatever. I say we, but generally it's me, whatever. It's just like I could write this whole issue, or I could do this. Speaking of, I have an interesting issue that if people have thoughts on, I would love to hear it. So we've done all this talking about doing link local messaging and Bonjour and everything. But there's been a user who has been in one of our XMPP conferences that was running Bonjour over the Yggdrasil network. We talked about this last week. But they were asking if we could somehow turn off the Bonjour part and they could just add buddies via IP and port. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't do that because like Bonjour / link local messaging, like your avatar and your presence and stuff, that's all controlled via MDNS to avoid additional connections. But that doesn't mean we can't create a new protocol that does something similar, right? Where it'll listen for XMPP connections and then connect and blah, blah, blah. But if we did like a simple, like maybe a long-term request, open a request for 10 minutes and then close it and then come back and check frequently, whatever, then you could just use regular XMPP. And you would connect with, you give them a username, maybe, and then the IP and the port. And then this way, this can work over whatever, right? It doesn't even have to be the Yggdrasil network. You could just be two people on the LAN, and you could just, connect a chat session directly, because maybe your LAN blocks MDNS or something. A lot of corporate environments do, stuff like that. So this would work around that, whatever. So if anybody has any thoughts on this, I'd love to hear what you have. The problem is, again, we still would have a TLS or an encryption issue. But if you run it over WireGuard or Tailscale or something, you should be okay. Or Yggdrasil, you should be okay. But if you're just direct to LAN, whatever. But the thing is, we wouldn't want to necessarily put that in the protocol itself. But if anybody has any thoughts or anything, I'd love to hear them. But basically, it would be link local messaging without the MDNS part. Like maybe we give them an easy way to like share their info or something, which really that's not a bad idea in general. Because like other stuff has that, right? Like on your phone, like I can go to Matrix and say like share link or something, right? Or get like profile link. Maybe Fluffy Chat doesn't show it, I don't know. I can hit invite contact. That's not quite what we want. So if I go to my profile, I guess I have to hit edit on my name? I don't know what the hell a bundle is for my account, but that's apparently a thing. Maybe I'm thinking WhatsApp or something. Or maybe it's even Snap. Oh, I'm not even logged into Snapchat. I should probably log back into there at some point. I never logged back into Snapchat when I got a new phone. But I thought there was like an invite to connect or something on some of these. I'm not seeing anything here. But anyways, there's something like that we could... Signal has it? Yes, I do have... Oh, nice. We need to get Pidgin on mobile so bad. So if I hit my name... Invite your friends... That just has a let's switch to Signal, and it gives them the link. Okay, but I know Snapchat, for one, has a thing that's like, scan the QR code to connect, right? maybe a check. He has an option to do some symmetric message encryption client side, sort of like you can do with S3 bucket. Oh, for the direct stuff, yeah. So that's one of the other ideas. Zash from Prasadi had so he introduced me to an acronym today I didn't know called TOFU, which is fuck, totally forgot. Oh, trust on first use, TOFU. Trust on first use, TOFU. I had never seen the thing before, and this is what SSH does, right? You know, it prompts you and says, "Do you trust this thing?" You say, "Yeah," and then you go, right? And we can do that with self-signed TLS certs, so that's an option too. Reminds generic install, yeah. But no, that's the thing too, right? So like, even if like Signal and them don't have a thing for it, like we can still, you know, generate a QR code or something for it, assuming you can do a QR code link or like a URL for any of them, right? So like, we used to have protocol handlers. We don't have the protocol handlers right now. So like, when you click on like an AIM link, right, it would open up in Pidgin. I think we still have or we had the XMPP, but we don't have that working right now. But like, you know, we could have something to, you know, generate QR code for blah or whatever or something, right? And we could do that, and that could be some easy way to do the link local stuff, but maybe not. I don't know, right? There's a ton of ideas out there, right? We just need to figure out which way to go. Yeah, let's get Elliot one in here. So this one doesn't have an issue, but this seems okay, right? Remove redundant account disconnections. Yeah. Okay. Right. You okay, mister? You're moving weird. How's it going, Rocco Rager? Welcome, welcome. I hope I said that right. I missed. Okay. We has a cat. You're on the internet, mister. I did? Sweet. At first I almost called you Rockager. Like, wait, I think it says Rock O Rager. 37.94. And I'm likely to typo Elliot's name because I don't type it often, so we copy paste. We're gonna regroup these according to stuff when we get there. We're just gonna grab what we think is relevant right now and then go from there. Fix reloading of account errors. Saving an account error. It's correct to a string, but reading it something. Okay. I don't know when 3575 was, but I'm gonna guess it was a while ago. Cat is built like a buffalo. What does that mean? He thinks he's gonna get more treats. So he's gonna sit here and stare at the bowl for a while. Thank you. 3796. Remove another. Like, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about another one. I mean, we could put it in there, but yeah. Fixing down to purple unescaped text. Yeah, that's. Require IBIS 0.11. Hi, mister. Stretch. Come on. Get the goops. Do we get it? Mostly. Alright, fine. You wanted ox? Oh, big shoulders. Okay. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. Is that an insult or? I mean, protocols are the protocols, right? Like, the end of the day, you use the ones where you need to get stuff done or you can talk to people. But I mean, there's a lot more to IRC v3 than just message tags. But I mean, it's good to see IRC getting some modern features, but it's also really weird seeing typing notifications on IRC. Right? After 30 years of IRC for me alone, you're just like, this is weird. Actually, it might not be quite 30, but it's close to 30 for me. So yeah, it's just like, okay, that's weird. You love typing notifications. You wish Libera supported. Yeah, I mean, they just got to turn. Well, yeah, they don't have client tags or general message tags, but yeah. So Pidgin 3 has support for them now, but it you know, it's just not out there or whatever. So we need to keep track of what features we actually have implemented for IRCv3. But I need to get the IRCv3 spec updated for us too. Or the registry where it keeps track of what. But yeah, like our IRCv3 support's getting pretty good. In this release, we added support for batches, although we don't handle any of the batches yet. So we wrote a new IRCv3 library to use in Pidgin 3. And that, well, so we haven't actually pulled in that version yet, but the that library does now support, does now know how to handle batches. But we're not using any of the batches yet. So, you know, stuff like net splits and stuff like that should be much cleaner, so on and so forth. But we have full capability support. We're doing message tags, typing notifications. Let's just do it this way. Support tables, that's what I'm looking for. We don't have chat history yet. We will get chat history. The problem is we have to work out the rest of how we're going to handle history internally. But we will be getting chat history because that's where we're going. So Pidgin 3, you know, I don't know how familiar you are with Pidgin in general, right? But Pidgin's multi-protocol client, blah, blah, blah. The whole reason why Pidgin 3 only has IRCv3 support right now is it's the one that was the closest that has some features that are all modern chat stuff, which is helping us to clean up and get stuff figured out for Purple 3. Once more of those APIs are figured out and better understood and stuff, then we can go ahead and implement the other protocols, which will then use the same things. And I know it's weird to people that think IRC is just, you know, basic plain text, whatever, but obviously you're aware that IRC has chat history now. So like by building this on top of Pidgin 3, or by building IRCv3 for Pidgin 3, we're actually getting all these features and implementing them for IRC right away. Which is weird, but yeah. So like, I wish I could keep the header up there, but oh, I can do it this way. Boop. Right. Okay. So Pidgin 2 has cap support. Yep. Pidgin 3 has cap 302 and cap notify. We didn't do account notify yet. We do have account tag. We didn't do away notify yet. We do have rudimentary batch. Like the library understands batch. Yeah, this is Pidgin 3. We are much differently looking and stuff. It's been forever to get here, but our next release is due out next week, which is Experimental 2. But yeah, but so we have basic batch mode. We haven't done anything with it, but yeah. Bot mode, maybe we'll add it. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. We'll figure it out. We didn't do change host yet. Echo message, we'll probably pull echo message in once we finish landing batch mode and labeled responses. Then we'll do echo message, because then we can easily figure out what message got echoed back to us and blah, 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 go from there. Extended join, we didn't do yet. Extended monitor, nope. Invite notify, nope. Labeled response, on the radar. We can do that now that we have batch support. Message tags, yes. Monitor, not yet. Message ID, yes. Multi-prefix, I think no. I don't remember, I gotta double check. Sassel 3.2, yep. Server time, yes. Set name, I don't think so. Standard replies, yes. STS, not yet. User host and names, nope. UTF-8 only, nope, but we only do UTF-8, so kind of. WhoX, not yet. Typing, yes. Draft multi-line, not yet. Chat history, not yet. Draft reply, not yet. Draft channel content, nope, nope, nope. But you could, like, very different from what Pidgin 2 is, right? There's a lot more yeses than there are nos. So we're getting there, but yeah. So slowly but surely. But yeah, so right now we're just trying to get a rudimentary change log set up for next week's release. Did we cover this one? Don't attempt to join the status window when connecting. Yeah, people might care about this. Because people on IRC get a little pedantic. Let's go with that. There's an oversight. So we now have a status window finally, believe it or not. And there was an oversight where we were just going through all conversations that were open and rejoining them, including the conversation, including the status window, which is just another conversation. Read marker is a very useful one. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that has to deal with history, including read marker, that they all are going to have to wait until the chat history stuff is done, because the read marker needs to be included in that too. Right? Because all of that just kind of comes together. So we'll end up doing chat history first. And then we'll come back through and do read marker and that kind of stuff. But again, so libpurple being what it is, you know, it abstracts all the protocols. We can't just implement IRC. We have to figure out how it's going to be implementable for everything and then do it for IRC. Like the whole idea of read marker, what is it here? Did I close a tab? I did. Is read marker here? Or is it just part of channel history? No, it's this one. Oh, never mind. So I think this is based on, this isn't based on message ID. Is this based on a date? I don't remember. Oh yeah, this does the timestamp. So what we're probably going to do is, we will make our read markers internally in libpurple use a timestamp, not because IRC does it, but because if we get a message ID from the server, we can convert that from, so like say one protocol sends like, oh, you read up to this message, right? All right, cool. But like, I've got to figure out where that message is, right? And I have to have an abstract way to handle that. So what we'll end up doing then is we'll grab the created time of the message and then poof, that becomes a timestamp, right? So that's the kind of weird abstraction stuff we have to do. But yeah, read markers are huge and we want to make them automatic, and there's a billion things we want to do. The problem is we're still like cleaning stuff up in the back end and modernizing stuff and stuff like that. So like you mentioned Pidgin, you used to use it back in the AIM days, right? The problem is the Pidgin 2 API is stuck in the AIM days, right? Everything back there was written in the days where when a message came in, like logging it alone was something revolutionary, right? But like a message would come in, it would just get displayed in the window. There was no way to access it because you just forgot about it, right? You just put it in the window. There's no identifiers. There's no way to find it, right? So all of that API had to be changed and rewritten. And that's part of the reason why everything's taking so damn long. So yeah, so like we have had to go and rewrite all that stuff and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it just stuff takes time, right? Just what do you do? So like, let me put it this way too. So you will see that a purple message, an object for representing a message, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 properties right now for a message, right? There's more to this too. But like there's the message content, whatever. So there's 14 properties for a message now. Purple 2 does not have a data structure for messages. Messages are two strings, an author and the message. And the message content. That's what a message is in Purple 2 or Pidgin 2. What it sounds, what you mean for messages? Like in Purple 2, messages are the author and the message content, nothing more. Even the timestamps are BS'd, I think, on the time they come in, or maybe we save it somehow. But after that, it's gone. We just lost it. We have no other way to get to it. Right? But then, do we put this on here? Did I see it and not even notice it? Yeah, so now there's attachments, objects too. There's a whole bunch of things to make this work and go better. And there will end up being some more, actually it wasn't better be a property. Yeah, okay, attachments. We'll end up adding more stuff as we come up with it, but this is the stuff that like we've needed so far. Yeah, I mean, we're getting there, but you know, there's always going to be stuff. But there's stuff like delivered and delivered at, right? So like some protocols, they won't necessarily say what time a message got delivered to the user at, or you know, whatever. But so like we have both these properties. So you know, like if you just set delivered and you didn't put the time, we then populate the time. So there's some stuff tied together. But you know, it's pretty simple, right? Whether or not the message is an action, right? So that's an action, right? Slash me, that's an action message. A simple toggle on the message. Attachments. Oh, I should be fair. There was a flags value that you could pass with a message in Purple 2. And that had all sorts of stuff like system event, action, blah, 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 blah. But the problem is, number one, flags values are weird. Sure, they use less space and stuff, but like, I don't mean to sound rude in this, but like modern developers don't deal with bit flags, right? So like now we're moving stuff to booleans and stuff like that, and that's fine. But so attachments are like, you know, in Discord or something, when you drop a photo with your message or you just send a photo, right? That's what attachments is. Author is who sent the message, and that's actually an entire author. Then there's a whole bunch of info tied to that, whatever. The message contents itself, the actual text contents, whether or not it was delivered, when it was delivered, if the message was edited, when it was edited, if the message had an error, sometimes you'll get just a delivery error on a message, right? If the message is an event, that's like somebody joined or left or whatever. Using lately, so bitfields, flags, and bools are one and the same. Nice. Makes sense. But then messages have IDs now, right? Whether or not the message was just noticed, notices are typically like meant to go directly to a user, not necessarily. There's some weird stuff for IRC for it. A lot of other protocols don't care about it, but it's there. Whether or not it's a system message, right? The system came in to tell you something, and then the timestamp of the message, right? And if we think of other stuff, we'll add it, right? We do have some ideas for how to handle rich text, but we haven't implemented any of it yet. We might have a markup field in here or something. Instead of get contents, it'll be get markup or something. Or yeah, we'll probably do it both ways. Did we not? We didn't do that yet, did we? We wanted to add a raw contents too. So our IRC library. That's not how you spell ibis. So the message object here, this has. Does this? Yeah. So this has the raw message, right? So this is the actual like raw IRC on the wire message I got turned into this message object. And I want to put something like that in Pidgin for debug purposes. I just clearly didn't do it yet. So we should make that happen. And to make that happen, we're just going to put a ticket in and do it later. Purple.message raw contents. Let's skip this for now. This gets weird. When we start talking about like raw text messages or just raw messages in general, sometimes it makes sense to have them for protocol. Sometimes it doesn't. We'll come back to it. We'll get to it at some point, I'm sure. Update the test for purple person. Outside of purple person, remove all contact info as we need it in the test. It can be done for others. Okay. Oh, right. I did a whole bunch of just updating the test here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this was the setup to making... Or, so here, wait. We're doing all this talking about this. Let's just... I don't know what state my tree is in. Oh, you know what? I think I'm on Libera right now, and I don't want to be on Libera on... Oh. What branch am I on? Oh, I'm on an old-ass branch, apparently. Where the fuck am I? I know you can't see this. Okay. Yep. I was starting to look at the conversation manager serialization. Come on. Oh, this is fine. Oh, wow, we have to see if I'm on Libera or not. Libera likes to dox me with Sassel serve. So I make sure you can't see that. Okay. I am on Libera. just disable that, close that. That should be good. Okay, well, that didn't disconnect right away. That's fun. I might still be connected. Am I still connected? Oh yeah, I'm still connected, apparently. Alright, well, whatever. So we're on... Okay, I think we're okay. Alright, close this Sassel serve window. And just full screen this for now. So this is Pidgin 3. It looks much different, obviously. The colors do not contrast well. I know, it's on my list. But you'll see, 80 members. So we're getting to the changes here that put the member count into the search box. Now you can search up here too, so you can be like Grim. Oh, hey, look, there's Grim and a Grim 3. Sweet, right? But this is also fuzzy matching. So if I type like GM, oh, look, we also got Germ. Whoever that is, I don't know, right? And other fun stuff like that. So, but yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Rocco Rager. The events need cleanup. There's a billion things to do, right? And you should have used a sassel or something, or a mask. But yeah, so there's lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff to get cleaned up. We're still, working on some of the big stuff in the back end and that kind of stuff. But one thing at a time. Conversation, matches. But yeah, so Pidgin 3 is also GTK 4, which is much better than GTK 2, which Pidgin 2 is. But lots of things. Use Soju? Yeah, a lot of people use Soju. I'm not using a bouncer at all right now. I need to set up Soju and ZNC and a whole bunch of stuff so that I can do more testing. Yeah, we're using Libid Wada as well. We're not trying to make it a GNOME app, but we're using a lot of the helper stuff that Libid Wada does, especially the dark mode stuff. And a bunch of the other widgets. They make a lot of things easier and stuff like that. So, yeah. And we are still hoping to get Finch released again, a Finch 3, but there's not enough resource, and there's not enough people to do stuff. So we were trying to balance both of them at once, and it became impossible. So we just, for now, deleted Finch. The intent is to bring it back at some point, but there's only so many hours in the day we can do. So yeah. But we're getting there. But yeah, so when we actually get to like a final release or even an alpha, that's when we'll be, I don't want to say recommending, but we'll tell people that, okay, now's the time to start playing with it. Right now, this is more of like a tech preview, if anything. And kind of just, to show people, hey, we're still alive. We're still here. We're still doing stuff. You're one of the subsystem maintainers of Ghosty. And terminal community has gone wild. That we have moved to Libed Wada as a requirement? Oh boy. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. The terminal community was also pissed when like, oh, well, I want to install Finch, but it pulls in GStreamer. It's just like... It's not like they wanted like a special build. They wanted us to go through all this work so that they could save like 10 megs on disk. And it's just like, no. Right? Like, here's the donation page, man. Right? Like, or here's the contributor guide and the donation page. Do what you feel is appropriate. Right? But yeah, so here, this is something that's changelog relevant or appropriate that doesn't have an issue. We got rid of the Purple SQLite 3 API and we started implementing SQL. Right? That's, yeah, totally fine. Oh shit, sorry. So yeah, I was saying we had a similar issue I'm sorry, I normally pay attention to the ads. I must have missed that one. We had a similar issue with Finch, where Finch was pulling in GStreamer and the terminal zealots, I guess, I don't know, absolutely lost their shit. And like they wanted us to like move all of voice and video to like a plugin and like completely rewrite our API and everything just so they didn't have to install 10 more gigs worth of, or not even gigs, 10 more megs worth of disk space. And it's just like, what I just said too was, here's our donation page. Here's our getting started as a contributor page. Do what you feel is necessary, right? How's it going, Euro? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Docs are kind of user facing. They're developer facing. We can put that in here. This is Elliot, right? I'm also trying to make sure this changelog isn't just me, right? So I'm going to be more lenient on items that were not me and don't have issues. Just so this doesn't look like, oh, I'm just patting myself on the back. Like, no, there are other people here, and they deserve credit too. Like, we all do what we can when we can, right? So, yeah. Well, no, it's not even just contributions welcome, right? Because that, like, contributions welcome, like, I don't know how long you've been in open source, stuff like that, but contribution welcome is effectively fuck off, right? So, like, by giving them the choice of a donation page and the contributor guide, it's you can make an effort by giving money and doing nothing, or you can make an effort by paying nothing and doing something, right? And you're giving them more options. How's it going, SWK? Welcome, welcome. It's okay to be more obvious about it. Shh. Hero says they're tired AF. Should have went to bed hours ago. Now it's too late to catch some Z's before I have things you must be up to do in a few. That sucks. But yeah, if you all think I'm trying to toot my own horn with Pidgin stuff, like, have you even watched anything here? Like, just no. 3838, right? It's gonna be the same thing, but for Pidgin. So, like, we'll probably reword some of these stuff, and once we categorize them, right now we're just trying to build the list. And this is also, I don't have to do it next week. Contributions welcome mean I see your issue. It's real. Please help me. Yes, but also a lot of people use it to mean that, like, they're not going to do anything and they won't accept a patch either. This issue or this feature is so silly, and I can't believe we didn't do it sooner. But conversations now have a property that says that they're online or not. Because, you know, we just never thought of it before. And then I think we added it after we already had the basics in. Oh, I should show the demo protocol plugin a little bit. So we have a demo protocol plugin, and the idea is one of the complaints we've gotten over the years about Pidgin, and you'll see it a lot in chat clients, is, or just open source in general, is there's not generally a ton of screenshots of programs for whatever reason, right? For a chat program, that becomes a bigger issue because, like, you don't want to dox your friends and family, right? And, like, so, like, whenever you want to do a screenshot, you have to come up with, you have to stage it and do all this stuff, whatever, and it's a pain in the butt. So what we did is we created the demo protocol plugin, which has screenshot safe data in it. So when we come over here and run this, let me make sure Sassel server doesn't get me. Oh, good, it's disconnected now. Okay. So that's a bug we have to fix, right? But so these are all demo contacts. IRC, we don't have anything, right? But if I can click on Echo, now Echo, so the icon's not working up here. That's a whole other story. We got other stuff to do. Echo just repeats me. Repeat after me, right? But now, oh, hey, look, we've got a contact list full of people. We can create these over here, and we have stuff we can just screenshot. And then we don't have to worry about leaking IP addresses, showing people's handles, whatever, right? It's just gone. It's just not an issue. Because we just have something where we can just create a screenshot whenever the hell we want. And that's amazing. You're more than happy to accept patches as long as they don't suck. Yeah, very true. So am I. One thing you learned on patches in a complex project is people don't think about how the changes they are making can break other things. Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely a thing. That's not API, or that's not changelog worthy. Implement purple badges compare. This one has an issue. All commits with issues go in. Some without also go in. 3844. This is me again. Jesus, I do too much work here. We have plenty of coffee. Need to wait for it to burn off. Yeah, that's yep. No, I think I missed a message in there, but whatever. Oh no, maybe not. Oh, that was a okay reference to the song. Okay. Yeah. Wait, so was that not a song? Oh no, okay, it was a song. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know any. I know the stupid MTV song by Dire Straits, and that's literally it. That purple notification create timestamp to local now if not set. This was not a bug. That's fine. Pop culture reference not found. Yes, that is a great emote. Display the timestamp notifications. Boop. Oh yeah, one of the other cool things in Pidgin 3 that I didn't show off, which we should do real quick, is there's now notifications. So one of the things that literally drives me nuts about Pidgin 2, and we just never fixed it, was like if a wall ops message comes in on IRC, so a message from the network operators, it would pop up as a dialogue, and if you're typing, you hit spacebar, boom, it's gone. You can't see it; it's just lost, right? So in Pidgin 3, we don't pop up dialogues like that anymore. We now have this entire notification system, which will show this. And on top of that, right? So we're talking about the demo plugin. So boom, generic notification. Right? Again, the demo protocol plugin's meant to give us stuff to screenshot, right? So there's a bunch of stupid bird puns here. 2 can play that game as long as it's not too much of a burden, right? Sounds like a bit of a ostrich. I did not come up with these. I Googled them. People can't stop Raven. I think we loop after this one. Yeah, have you heard about the bird? But then, contact added you. Alice wants to add them to your contact list. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Shook would like to add you to their contact list, right? And then wall ops and everything, or server messages, those will get popped in here too. And then, you'll see a little notification number up there. So like right now it's at 8, and yeah. Skype is horrible with that. Typing along, hit enter, just as call comes in and gets answered instead of your message getting sent. Yeah, lovely. Doesn't matter. Skype's dead in 2 months, a month and a half. Die, Skype, die. But yeah, Pidgin 2 is notorious for a lot of that too. So, but yeah, so the notification system obviously handles a lot of stuff. So, display timestamps. I'm trying to reach your car's extended warranty. I'm glad you found a use for channel points. 3849. Oh, that was bits? Oh, my bad, my bad. Thank you for the message effects biddies, the 20 bits. Greatly appreciate it. I was like, that's really good for channel points. How long ago I followed you, and I don't have any clue what you're doing, but every time I click your stream, you're always just vibe developing and being awesome. Oh, thank you. Too smart and watching your work is fun, even though I'm not. Oh, that's cool. I mean, if you got questions, feel free. I'll do my best to tell you. But I can tell you, you have been following since March 18th. So a little over, or March 18th, 2019. So you have been following me for 6 years. It was funny? Yes. Yes, it was. Appreciate it. All right, what do we got next? Return error when trying to join multiple channels at once. This sounds weird and silly, but it's okay. Like the way we built it, is you're only supposed to be able to join one channel at a time. IRC has this weird setup where you can join more than one channel at once. And like you can do that via a quote command. You shouldn't be doing that from our dialogue. Maybe we'll put a join command and you can do it that way, right? But like trying to do it from our join channel dialogue is not the right place to do it. Simple tool tips to badges. Dumb question. Have I considered something like Discord streamer mode? Yeah. So there's I don't know that we have anything particular for it. So there's a couple things. There's some stuff that should be tagged with privacy. I guess we haven't done this much. This is U-Track from JetBrains. There are quite a few information links that we should allow the user to control in many cases. Okay, so this isn't actually like streamer mode itself. But you know what? Yeah, we can just do that automatically. Yeah, it shouldn't even be that hard. So we have this other issue. Where this should also have the privacy tag. So we have this issue I created that said, when I entered an alias property to Purple Conversation member, I realized that people could give other inappropriate names that could be seen via screenshots or whatever. So it might be nice if there was a setting to disable aliases from being displayed if presenting or whatever. So this is a similar idea, but not quite the same. But you're right. So what we should do is we should have a new issue for add options for a Discord like streamer mode. We have a streaming presence primitive, and when it is active for our user, we should start masking out names and other stuff. Should be pretty straightforward by updating the name for display properties to check this and so on. Where's my typo? We have a streaming presence limited add options for Discord like Femur. Hey, maybe I was talking about poop. This is probably going to be large. This needs to be broken down, but sure. Subsystem, technically lib purple. Don't know how I didn't get that. Yeah, I don't want to schedule that yet, but yeah. But yeah, now let's do it. Pro Strimmer, yes. All right. Simple tooltips to badges. But yeah, that's something we should probably do sooner rather than later. Although that's going to be weird. Oh, maybe not. Like at some point, I would like to have chat on screen, maybe, and have it actually be a Pidgin 3 window. So like if I'm in streamer mode, that's going to be a problem. So I don't know. The thing is, like, I have the weird use case, right? But like maybe you could toggle it off for a window or for a conversation. That could be an option too. The problem is when you start working on a third-party protocol or third-party chat client, right, is you start to realize that you can add all these crazy features that just like nobody else would ever do in a real client. And that's when you start getting yourself into trouble, because then you just like, you get down the rabbit hole of, oh, well, then we can do this, and then we can do this, and then we can do this. And you're just like, there's only so many hours in a day. And we need to figure out which ones we're going to do first, and then go from there. Kirk's response is to set and fix it from chat. Yes. Yes. Contributions welcome. Oh, Jesus, I put tickets on a lot of these, apparently. That's trying to be more like, wait, hold on. There's only 38 tickets in this release. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Jesus. All right. And if we put all of these in, I didn't think of that till now. Thanks, Rustic Bite. Appreciate it. This is notable, and there is a ticket for it. This is this is 3 months in the making, and this release was years in the making. So that's 12/31/2024, and no, this doesn't even have 2.14.14 in it. All right, we have to add that in too, right? But like Pidgin 2 is still limping along, and we're still doing releases semi-frequently, right? 2022, 2022, 2022, 2022. But like this whole time, we've been working on Pidgin 3, and like these are supposed to be maintenance releases, right? Fix a regression in purple start of time, fix a double free, fix a link, right? This is all just bug fix shit. We froze feature development when we released 2.14.0 in 2020. But you know, we've been trying to push Pidgin 3 for a very, very, very long time. Like we officially started talking about it in like 2008. So like there's lots of stuff that's happened since then. Like originally, so I've been with the project since 2003. So yes, 22 years nearly at this point, which fuck. But I took it over in 2016. And when I took over the project in 2016, there was a configure option to build against GTK 2 or GTK 3. We are now GTK 4 only because, yeah, right? So that's just, you know, a rough idea of the kind of things that have changed in the code base over this time. Do I hate or love chat protocols? I mean, what do you think? So I started working on Pidgin in like July of 20, not even Pidgin itself. I mean, back then it was game. But so in the summer of 2003, I moved my desktop to Linux. And I needed a chat client. I ended up settling on game because that's what Pidgin was called before then. And at the time when I was still running Windows with AIM, I was running an AIM plugin called Dead AIM, which gave you logging and it showed toaster pop-ups for you. Like people sign on, sign off, and whatever, right? The stuff everybody's used to now. But then, oh, thank you. But so I ended up writing Goofications, which was a toaster pop-up plugin. And as I built that, I would find bugs in Pidgin. I'm using Pidgin. I'm, you know, developer. I would start fixing bugs in Pidgin. I became a crazy patch writer. Then, like in 2004 or so, I think I got developer status. And then I did a bunch of work here and there for a while. I went on hiatus for a while. Blah blah blah. But like one of the big things that stalled Pidgin 3's development was something I was pushing for. So that's why I lobbied to take over the project in 2016, was to try to correct that wrong and get the project back on track. It's taken way longer than I thought it would, that's for sure. And we are still far from a general release, but we're getting there. Right. So like right now we don't recommend end users play around with Pidgin 3 because it's not going to do you much good. Like you can play around with IRC, but that's it, right? Like you're not going to get a whole lot more out of it. We don't even have commands implemented in IRC. You have to use the quote command. You need to know what you're doing. But we do have a flat pack. So if you go to GNOME Software, so you have to go to GNOME Software, because it is not on. It's on. So Pidgin 3 is in FlatHub, but it's in FlatHub Beta. So if you just go to FlatHub, you're just going to see these two, right? Or you're going to see one of these. I don't remember where the other one is there. But if you have FlatHub Beta, you will see Pidgin 3 here. And then we'll obviously be updating this once we do the release next week. But you know, then you can just install from Flatpak and you're good to go. We're going to be pushing Flatpak a lot harder than we ever have like a binary distribution before. And the reason for that is that totally lost my train of thought. A lot of people end up installing Pidgin on a long-term support distro, which is fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, being a network application, there's possibilities for remote exploitable errors. There are times when protocols change, servers change, IP addresses change for servers you need to connect to, stuff like that, right? So you need to have a pretty frequent update cycle for a chat client. And you don't get that on a long-term support distro unless there's a security issue. Then they'll go ahead and update it and that kind of stuff. So instead, we're going to I've been slowly trying to push people to the Flatpak, even for Pidgin 2. It's like, go use the Flatpak, right? Because that way you're getting the most up-to-date version from Flatpak. Like, yeah, like I understand you're going to complain that there's, you know, oh, it's extra dependencies and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, you're getting the most up-to-date version, and at least with Pidgin 3, it's coming from us, not random packagers on FlatHub. Although they say this is me, I have nothing to do with this package. I'm the software vendor. I am not the packager. So, you know, that is what it is. But yeah, that's the goal. Yeah. I mean, you can say it's impressive. I say it's dumb. It's inadvertently became my life's work. But yeah. You vaguely remember game? I think it bounced between that and Trillion around the time. Yeah. So there's this look familiar? The funny part is how similar this still looks to Pidgin. Like even the fucking about box. It's just it's so stupid how little has changed in Pidgin 2 over the years. Oh, okay, no, we did change it a little bit, right? But okay, so go to message tech conversations. Okay, well that's a bad example. But like I don't know how I guess we just use whatever formatting's there, right? That one's new. Highlight misspelled words. I'll show formatting on that, whatever, right? What else? Do we have any more preferences? No. All those are older screenshots. But yeah, just like so much is just the same yet. It's just like this is ridiculous. But yeah. PSA, if you did 23andMe, yeah, you might want to get in, log in there, and delete your data before they sold to who knows who. Yeah. Highly recommend that. You just filed for bankruptcy, so it's the worst case is happening. Yep. Yep. You okay, man? I've never heard you meow in your sleep before. And that was a weird meow. You okay? Okay. Does Pidgin support Discord? Yeah, there is a plugin. Actually, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just. Oh no, with that hasn't started yet. It's gonna start in 20 seconds. There is a Discord plugin. Some people sometimes have issues with it. If you're in a lot of Discords, you might want to be careful with it. But it is there. It does work for some people. Again, Pidgin 2 doesn't exactly scale well to modern chat stuff, especially Discord, because Discord is one account, many servers. But that's stuff we're trying to fix in Pidgin 3. And add. Okay, or ad starting soon. I don't know. Whatever. I tried. I'm like, let me spit this out before the ad comes up. All right, so we just did the listen for XMPP connections. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Yeah. Make sure we look for GI DocGen. That's not a big deal. Input message notifications in a hacky way. We're going to put this in for now. Fuck, we're already to March? All right, well, we're almost done. So that's good. So, like, this doesn't have an issue associated with it, but we got message notifications that work well enough. There's some issues with it. It's real hacky, but it works. It's effective, right? Once we have the message history stuff all figured out, this will obviously use that with marker lines and all that. But right now, we're just counting whenever a new message gets written to a conversation that's not from the account that the conversation belongs to, and it's not an event. But we didn't do that right away either. So like right after this is like, oh man, I didn't ignore events. All right, let's do that. Right. And then, okay, that's not a big deal either. One account, many servers. I assume this was the case for most protocols, except IRC. No. Okay, yeah, well, I'll respond when the ad's over. Mark ping and pong as events. Always show badges for conversation members. I'm not worried about that. That undid the commit from earlier, because that was the case. Make the contents of event messages bold and italic. This can be change log worthy. We're still playing around with formatting stuff. We'll get there, right? 3909. 20 more seconds in the ad. Damn, I should have went and peed. I gotta pee. Yeah, I don't know how long this is broken, but yeah. Nine, 10. All right, we are back from the ad. So you said one account, many servers. I assume this is the case for most protocols except IRC. No. historically, that's just the way everything works. XMPP, right? You get one account per server. You can talk to other servers, right? And you can talk to chats on other servers, but you still only have one account for XMPP. MSN, AIM, Yahoo, ICQ, even Skype. That's all one account to one server. And yeah, just pretty Slack. Slack is one account per server, but everybody's on a million Slacks, right? So Discord's just the one weirdo, the one account to many servers at once. No. Discord, Discord internally, what they call servers in the user interface, they call guilds. But like, you don't have to log into a different server to connect to a different guild, right? You don't, your one account is for all of Discord and all of the guilds and servers in Discord. Now, Discord itself, where a guild or whatever is, that might actually be a different physical server, but you still use a single account to access all of them, right? Whereas like IRC, right, you know, you have one account to a server on Libera or something, and then you can have another account to the same Libera network with that, but like the Discord server concept is weird, right? It's different. Like, now Matrix is more like XMPP with the Federation, but yeah. Oh. Zulip? I don't know. I don't know much about Zulip. This song is really loud. Well, it's not almost over. I need to clean off my desk. Oh, that's right. Zulip is kind of newer, right? It is open source or something, I think. Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with Zulip to say one way or another. 3908. Is it a Mozilla spinoff? Interesting. The thing is, there's so much stuff going on in chat, it's hard to keep track of everything. Like somebody just told me about Briar today, and I had never heard of Briar before. I'm like, oh, okay. And Briar is a connectionless, serverless, whatever you want to call it, protocol that apparently can even work over Bluetooth. And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool if we could support that. Right? Like, oh. So yeah, I actually entered a ticket for it. Oh, come on, U-Track, why are you being so slow? So, yeah, so... And they're all open source and everything, too. It's like, oh, that's cool. They have it on F-Droid, even. Come on. Actually, that's not a bad idea. So, people may or may not be aware that in the latest GTK release, they got an Android backend, which essentially means Pidgin 3, when compiled against that backend, will just run on Android, which means we are going to be shipping an Android package. And I would love to do that for Experimental 3. Especially if it means I can get rid of some freaking chat apps on my phone. But there's a whole bunch of concerns there. A whole lot of that I outline. Why did you... No, just go into the fucking... You post. A whole lot of that I outlined here in this blog post. Like, there's issues of... We can't do push notifications. So we're going to kill your battery. But, like, the having to develop a new UI for Android specifically doesn't matter anymore because now there's a GTK backend, so we can just run Pidgin directly, which is huge. So, that was normalized chat name. Some minor claims to Pidgin conversation. I was trying to get the member list sorting working, but there's some more underlying issues. What the hell did I put in this issue? Is it really like clean up whatever? Oh, sort the members list. Okay. We're gonna skip this one because we're gonna grab whatever the commit message is when it was actually fixed. And a badges change signal and fix the items changed emissions. So to make sure the badge change are notified in the list model. We also pass one for removed and added to juice model to notify when items change. Does that actually close that then? Yeah, okay. So we are going to change this to just say this. Sort the member. Sort the member list based on purple.conversation member compare. Pidgin. 18045. There's a couple of review requests for this, but that's okay. 162 missing name. Yeah, look at that. You know, Polly, you could like sign up on a review board and review this when I post it too. 3919, 3918, 3919, and 3992. Or 3922. Okay, so that's the start of all of this. We're not ready to actually, like, I'm going to PR this to get it going, but we're not going to merge it yet, right? We're just going to update this as we go. Also, I have to inject in 2.14.14. Probably easiest way, pidgin.im/changelog. So, this is a good question. Do we sort by version number or by date? Because if we go by date, 14.14 is after experimental 1. Yes, very true. There's no cloud, only pewter. I think we'll go version. Right, I think that's okay. People are going to be expecting the versions to go in order, not the dates. I think. It's usually someone else's computer, yes. Actually, serverless should be more considered like a honeypot to steal your money or something. Because that's really what serverless does. Oh, I didn't categorize any of these yet. Son of a bitch. Went to some big Microsoft Cloud event with the no such thing as cloud statement on a t-shirt. Nice. Got some funny looks for some reason from the Microsoft crowd? You don't say. I can't imagine why that would happen. You know, like, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. My interaction are that Microsoft people seem to think that they are high and mighty still. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? Oh, well, see, we handle so much data and we have so many people and blah, blah, blah. And just like, okay, good. Like, congratulations. Would you like a gold star sticker? It just, yeah, it just drives me fucking nuts. This is the way we did it, right? It was category, yeah. Now we reflow all the things. You love those people? Yeah. Well, at Microsoft, we blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah. At Microsoft, you did a lot of shady shit. And you're super proud of it. For some reason. Microsoft, oh, that was... my other favorite is, that was under Balmer. We're not that way. And it's like, bitch, shut up. Like, do I need to tell you about the Halloween letters? Fuck off. Windows so good when Microsoft bought, what was it, Hotmail? And migrated to Windows only to realize it ain't gonna work? And migrated back to Linux? I didn't know that story. That's hilarious. Oh, here. You want to see something hilarious I just noticed earlier today? Linux. So, wait. The Windows version of the JetBrains TeamCity server image. 4.2 gigs for the Windows image. 4.27 for... I don't know why there's two of them. Right? The Linux one's 1.66 gigs. The funny part is... The Docker Windows image, the Windows server, whatever thing, is called Nano Server. Their Nano Server is 2.5 times size the Linux version. Their Nano Server. Just like, fuck off already. Jesus Christ. It's, yeah. There's only the 2 LLMs. Looks like it. Must be getting build support from Call of Duty devs. Yeah. Nano with 3 gigs of runtime libraries. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let the Alpine devs go and putz around with Windows. I'm sure they'll get it down to a gig, maybe. All right, we need a libpurple section. Do we capitalize this? I don't think we do. We do not. So there's general, then libpurple. I don't know, we're gonna have under general. Libpurple, and then Pidgin. Move purple conversation name, expedition methods, purple conversation, add properties, conversation properties are editable. Editable. These go into libpurple. Under general, simplify flatpak instructions. Is property for conversation member, purple tags. Subprojects use that. This is general. And name property purple count, purple protocol generate, purple. Replace that. Oh, oh. I guess this is purple? Shit, it looks like we didn't do anything in Pidgin. Like, we did. It doesn't look like it. You're okay with embedding the correct version of runtime libs in your packages? It eliminates... Yeah, like, I used to be very, very against that. But after, 20 years of dealing with this shit, it's, yeah. It eliminates the whole, but it doesn't work on my favorite distro with Linux because they're trying to run some old ass CentOS. Oh, you think it's CentOS? That's, yeah. Um, do you know what Whonix is? I do. Do you know why I know what Whonix is? Because we have users that are trying to run Pigeon 2 on Whonix. WHONIX. And it's like, I'm not blaming them for anything, but it's just like, dude, like, this is cool, but like, they haven't updated Pidgin in a long time. I don't remember what it is. Actually, it might be on Repoology. Yeah. But it's got a picture of Snowden on it, so you know it's good. Oh, Whonix isn't even on Repoology, okay? It's just, yeah. And then, like, people try to compile it, and you're just like, bro, you're going to have to install, like, 400 megs of dependencies. Like, you can do that if you want, but, like, the thing is, you're not going to keep it up to date. So, just go use a Flatpak. We're going to split into two. That reads better. Are those Unix users also using? I don't know. ICQ's dead though. Listen, not anymore. You think your app or an OS is going to hide you from the Google and Amazon tracking AI? You need to lay off the drugs, or at least please share them with me, as they obviously better than what you're getting. Yes. Hi, Mister. Oh, I gotta. Okay, so an ad starts at 8 minutes. I need to get water and I need to pee really bad, so we're gonna do that at that time. Oh, you missed one? Or you just look in the bowl? I can't tell. Alright. Implement purple badge compared. Display the okay, this is go into lib purple. This goes to Pidgin. These both go to Pidgin. Yay! See, we didn't completely neglect Pidgin this release. Use Chrome incognito mode. They ain't never tracking you. You're incognito. Yeah. Don't worry. Your Alexa or your phone will get you. Sorry, I shouldn't have said her name. I probably just set it off for somebody. Oh, we did that spell check in support too, so that's cool. Although that doesn't work on BSDs for some reasons. On either BSD. Those builds are broke right now. Don't want to see ads. Want to watch Gary do the gotta go dance? Stubborn Twitch Turbo. Thanks, SWK. I'm doing the dance right now because I gotta go real bad. We were using Mason. We jumped on Mason in like 2017. And I would never use anything else. Unless something better comes along. But it took us this long to get to Mason, so. Let's look at 3897 real quick. I don't remember. This is all in purple, I think. How's it going, Swills? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Swills heard BSD and he showed up. CMake, man. CMake had all the promise, and then I tried to use it, and it was fucking garbage. Okay, that's all I'm pitching. I spent a lot of time trying to make CMake work because I was that done with auto tools, and it was just like, yeah, CMake sucks. And then I just left everything in auto tools. Actually, no, I had G plugin was in CMake, I think, still until QLogic moved it to Mason. That was the first project we moved to Mason. Or use Zig build, yeah. So CPG plugin. All right, we just do it this way. So it's probably 1127. Add preliminary Mason build. Oh shit, it was 2016. Fuck, we've been using Mason for 8.5 years already. That's insane. You looked at free switch to CMake at one point. Went back to auto drills. Yeah. Like I said, CMake had so much promise, but like I had to write a fucking get text recipe. Get text. What? Why? Why did that not already exist? Explain that one to me, please, for the love of God. How had nobody else written get text support for it? I don't understand. All right. That looks much better. Ooh, I missed her. Oh, we're going to check to make sure that I had the layout right. So we did general, lid purple, Pidgin, bench, protocol. That's just top level protocols. And then Bonjour, demo, IRCv3. Okay, that's fine. All right. For the 2.91.0 release. Ninja. Explain their support in CMake to autogen Debian packages. I saw we don't need those other files like .changes and the dpackage build tools output for your app repo. Yeah. I know. The C package seemed like it was going to be amazing too. And then it's like, oh, nope, steaming pile of shit. Like, I cannot take what this thing outputs and try to get it into Debian. Debian will not accept it. Just like, yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, it's just a deb file. Like, they put together like a shit, like they use the install to create the control.tar file. It was just like a simple install. And then like, they just tar everything else up and put it into the data tar. And it's just like, oh, thanks. Like, technically, it is a Debian package. But, yeah. Yeah, it's like I understand Debian packaging is confusing, opaque, hard to reason about. Deb Helper helps a lot, but it's also so much fucking magic that like a lot of people struggle with it, right? And I get it, but like, but CPAC just is not the solution. Might be a case where both sides are wrong. I don't know. Yeah, like the Debian stuff's not bad once you learn it, but learning it sucks. RPM spec files are kind of annoying too. Like I will give Arch Linux some props for APK. APK is pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. Um, uh, RPM is simple until you're building a bunch of stuff from a single spec file. So we don't have it in gplugin anymore, but like gplugin would spit out like 8 packages because there'd be the devil package, the main package, the GTK package, the dev GTK package, the Python package, the Lua package. I'm missing something else in there. Well, the GIR package and some other stuff, and it the spec files just get ridiculous. Swills, I think it's all just back in the day. It used to be for saving space on the mirrors, so you could reuse stuff and people could limit what they're putting on it on disk. But nowadays it doesn't matter. Like I have how big is this one again? 512, I think. I have 512 gigs right here, and it's broken gigs, so we just throw it around. Um, it's just like, oh yeah, this doesn't matter anymore. When it comes to software packaging, you have opinions. Yeah. I understand. Static linking is the way to go. Yeah. Used to be for saving space on servers with small disk, and there's a whole school of thought why installing code you aren't using that could maybe have security bug. Yeah, there's that part too I'm forgetting about. But all right, anyways, this this ad's about to kick in, and I'm gonna go take a break. So I will be back in a few minutes. Did I time that like perfectly? Nice. Uh, do. Minimal ISO spins. You don't want all the docs. Build as part of each package. That's true. That's true. Start linking into one binary with, did I say binary? Whatever. Binary with argv0 checking to determine how it's really going to work. That's called /rescue. Yeah. Guess there's free switch. Oh my god. That's your fault? Yeah. You have 8,000 commits to FreeBSD ports. You've done a ton of packaging for RPMs that you worked at Red Hat. Yeah. Half that 317 is debug symbol packages. Yeah, that'll happen. But to be fair, like FreeSwitch has like you don't want to install like I'm trying to remember what some of the sub packages are, but yeah, you don't want all the dependencies and stuff. But in that case, I would do plugins, right? I mean, FreeSwitch has plugins, but it gets weird. But come on, man, CPIO archives. I just realized we have a bunch of stuff I have to merge too, but it's okay. This down and nice and dist. Connery. Is that like Sean Connery? We're gonna sell embedded Java runtime. When are you ever going to use the FreeSwitch Java? Yeah, like you guys should kick that out of tree. Arrow, don't mess with my joke. The only system that wasn't tarball with metadata? Is getting things ready so ahead of time and will be updated as additional stuff is merged. Landed. That's about it. Oh, is that something like auto package? No. Okay, not if you built a whole distro with it. Interesting. Does anybody remember auto packages? That were kind of app images before app images were a thing? Sticks everything into a date. What the fuck? Oh shit. I said 2.91. Oh yeah, no, that is right. But here I said 2. Oh no, okay. I thought I put 2.92. Whatever, it's fine. You just install your shit into opt your software. Yeah. Builds a binary diff you need to update from say 1.0 to 1.1 on the fly. Interesting. Okay. So we got that started. Good. Now I thought one of these bugged out my Pidgin 3, but we'll try this and see how it goes. But so joining the Libera support channel or the Linux channel on Libera was really noticeably slow, and I realized that that's because we're adding members one at a time. This depends on this pull request. Implement purple.conversation members extend. So what ends up happening is we build. Oh, I have to fix that. What we do is, or in the IRC. So what we do with the IRC stuff is we create a new when we're joining a conversation, we create a new purple conversation members object. We add everybody to that, and then we get the conversation members from the conversation, and we extend it with the ones we just created. And then that way it avoids a whole bunch of nonsense, and you get one update and stuff, and it's much happier, runs much faster. So, that's good. Yeah, binary diffs are amazing, right? When they work, it tends to be a ton of crap to get to them, unfortunately. Yeah, or anything, or just introduce it to PlayStation as well. Back in the day, I used to play a lot of Lego Dimensions, which I still want to see if I can wire that thing up to this. Lego Dimensions Linux. Apparently, yes. Confirm working on CMU. Real. Oh, no, I just want it as a fucking USB device. Oh, okay, so you can do. Okay, cool. At some point, I wanted to like make this a stream thing or something. Right, like, you could put a character on it, and like I could do a channel point thing or something, and then they could show up on like part of the screen or something. No implicit names. What is draft no implicit names? I still have to do whox and like a host join name. The problem was we were inserting everything. This was a GTK. It's not an issue with GTK. It's the way we were interacting with GTK. The problem is we were processing each member one at a time. So we were putting it into a list that was then being sorted. And then we'd put the next name in and it would be sorted. And the next one in and the next one in, right? So we were doing like n factorial complexity. Where now we just do, you know, n. So that was the big problem. But I mean, anything we can do to speed this stuff up later, sure. But like this was an obvious, oh yeah, we should have done this in the first place, but we didn't think of it at the time. But what is this draft? No implicit names. This document describes the no implicit names extension. This allows clients to opt out from the implicit. Oh, the implicit names replies. Yeah, no, we want this. Some clients don't need to query list. Yeah. This wouldn't work for us. Servers must not send in. Okay, yeah, this is fine. I think we have. This is just a capability. Yeah. Do we have this in Ibis? I don't know that we do. All right, we can check it here. Yeah, cool. So Ibis is our IRC library, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to make things easier for us. So capability, that should be under draft. No, okay. So apparently we don't have the draft stuff in here, but maybe we should do that. But yeah. So the way this works, basically, oh no, we have it as we don't have it listed as draft. We should fix that. Wow. But anyways, the idea is when the capabilities are ready, so there's a capabilities object. Well, that's fine. So there's capabilities object. It has a signal that says ready. So when it's finished receiving the list of capabilities from the server at startup, it'll emit the ready signal. And then whatever, you can also monitor new and delete signals. But then at this point, what you do is you call lookup or lookup and request. Lookup is meant to be for like, actually, do we give the value back? No, we don't. It's value that the name capability. Yeah, so like for SASL, we use this to grab the SASL mechanisms in the server order. So lookup and request, or there's just request. So like if something's not if something's not advertised, you can still request it via this, but lookup and request will do the other thing. I don't know how much you know IRC protocol, but the capability stuff. At some point, the the servers and the network admins are probably going to come after us because the way we negotiate capabilities right now is pretty much one at a time. And for stuff that exists, we should probably not do it that way. But it's something, it's an optimization we have to make at some point. But so anyways, we just call lookup and request, and then this will what does this return? Oh, okay. So if the name was found in there, it returns true. Yeah. So what do I mean one at a time? I can show you. Where the fuck is Ibis? There it is. So this is a test server of mine. So cap ls 302, they respond, we send user, they respond with cap ls, we set nick, cap rec batch, cap notify, message tags, ack, request server time, because we had to wait for message tags, right? So when message tags got acked, then we can request server time, then we finish caps, right? So that's what I mean, one at a time. Yeah. It's not great. They need to be batched together. I need to figure out how we're going to do that. Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's multiple round trips. But the bigger issue is, like, if we know a capability already exists, we could queue it up a couple of them before trying it. Because then we're not going to get a knack. The problem is if you request multiple capabilities and one of them doesn't exist or the server doesn't like it, then it knacks all of them, and it doesn't really tell you what the knack is. So that's where the problem is. And Swills, that's the answer to your question. Is then if for every rec you either get a knack or a knack. So it's not ideal by any means. I understand that, but like it's a real pain in the ass to try to figure it out the other way, right? So capability, notification spec, right? So they request multi-prefix, the server responds with that. Where's a knack? Do you have an example here? Yeah, so right, they requested multi-prefix, Sassel, and EX3. And yep. The next subcommand designates that the requested capability change was rejected. So each cap line is a change. So the server must not make any change to any capabilities if it replies with a knack subcommand. So then, like, I got to figure out what one was bad. And I don't know. IRC, there's been people that are pushing for IRC over JSON. Because, of course. So, yeah. You have a two-way client and spam cap rec about 10 times during registration to avoid that? Yeah, exactly. So this little client you just saw here, this is just built into Ibis. It's just a CLI. It's mostly just meant for debugging purposes and stuff. But so you can pass a minus, so whatever. Minus S for the server, minus N for your nick. And then you can say minus C for commands to set at startup. Right. So like when I was testing batches, I just sent channel history because that'll send a batch, right? So now Ibis says, okay, whatever. So batch +1 chat history Pidgin, and then, you know, -1, so it finished it because there was no history. So Ibis emits a signal saying there was a batch, but nobody handled it, so then it replays it manually, right? Oh, it's not that there was no history, right? So then here's the history coming from that batch. It just plays it back out because nobody handled it, right? And then finish manually replaying the batch, and then, you know, all the other stuff. So IRC over JSON. Tell someone to put away the Walter White special. Yeah. What's your client, if you don't mind me asking, Rocket Rager? And okay, obviously you know a lot more about the IRC protocol than I assumed. Comlink. Is that in Debian or anything? Oh, this is going to be in Zig. I'm assuming, right? Because you said you've been doing Zig. Oh, okay. Written Zig during the discussion. Oh, cool. Cool. You're not in Debian, are you? Nope. So one of the things I find myself having to do all the time, it's a nothing. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have a Docker image for this, do you? One of the things so I try to keep a bunch of clients running just because, number one, I need to not that I need to test compatibility, but I need stuff to test stuff, and certain things have things implemented that others don't, right? So having another client to connect to is great, right? So like if you, whatever, so I come back here, right? You'll see when we join Pidgin, where is it? Oh, so the name's in here. There's Pidgin 2 and Cly right now, right? So Pidgin 2 is my Pidgin 2 instance. Cly is this guy. But like, I generally have a WeChat and an Ursi running, but I just don't have them running right now. Because I normally run on my machine. But what I want to do is I want to move them to my Kubernetes cluster and then try to just use kube control attach and then treat them like screen that way. Are you working on an IRCD? That's some crazy stuff. Well, I suppose it's probably much easier in Zig than it was back in C back in the day. It's funny. So you might appreciate the story. A lot of people don't know this, but so years ago, like my first official tech job, I was working at an OEM, and one of the products we built, so we would do like contract building, right? So we would build machines for companies. We were more an ODM than an OEM, and original device manufacturer rather than equipment manager. Tomato, whatever, right? But one of them was internet security systems. And they built like network appliances for like firewalls and shit like that, right? Think like FortiGate or FortiNet stuff now. But so everything was headless. You could only talk to it over serial, blah, blah, blah. And like, so like they would send somebody out to come help us like update images and stuff like that. And the guy who they sent out happened to be John Lusky, who, if you know a lot about IRC, will know that he was one of the original authors of the hybrid IRCD in the 90s. So me already having spent a lot of time on Pidgin on that, we used to talk a lot about that stuff, and it was just crazy because it's like, how the small fucking world. And he was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So that reminds me, I should look him up on LinkedIn or something. Like, hey, remember me? As this crazy kid talking about Pidgin. So I wouldn't build this on Arch. We might try to build this though. Is there a Zig container? There's got to be a Zig container. It doesn't look like an official one, which sucks. I don't know who the fuck Chain Guard is though. Esolang Zig? Only 2 polls. Updated a year ago. This is updated 4 months ago. This has a verified publisher though, so I guess this would be the way to build it. Oh, is there? What version of Zig is this? That's not talent. Why are the... That can't actually be the tag name. Are you fucking kidding me? They say latest. Alright, well, whatever. This is something we'll look at in a little bit. But yeah, either way, it's always good to have additional clients, right? Additional things to test and what have you. Are you on the IR3 on the registry? This thing. Mobile bouncer response. I guess this is desktop. Link. Sorry, totally forgot the name already. I am horrible with names. No, you're not on here yet? Nope. Gotcha. Yeah, so I was asking them too. I was like, should we do a separate one? Because Pidgin 2 and Pidgin 3 are extremely different. So I haven't updated this for Pidgin 3 yet. Because they're like, oh yeah, choose the same one, put the version number in. And I'm just like, but they're different packages. They install side by side, right? It's... Yeah. I don't know. All right, we got to finish this pull request shit, though. All right, so I had a typo or something. No, the typo was in the other one. This one was first. Okay, yep. Pidgin clean, HE up default, HE pull minus U, CD build 3923. It's very similar Senpai. Senpai is the other one I tend to use. So, like, I never read the Senpai documentation, and I really don't know how to switch channels in Senpai. And it's really silly. Oh, okay, this had a typo. Alt up or down. I never would have guessed that. Never. And actually, I don't know if Alt... Yeah, so my terminal here, this is XFCE 4 terminal. Even though I tell it to not handle any Alt keys, disable all menu access such as Alt F, whatever. Disable menu shortcut. Like, it still handles Alt. Just like, dude. Name a better terminal. And I will probably tell you why I don't want to use it. Council. Okay, obviously, Ghosty, you're partial to that. I haven't even heard. Oh no, I have heard of Foot. I don't think I've heard of Kitty. I don't need a GPU-based terminal emulator. Foot's okay. Yeah. So. Yep. So. Like I'm not using what is this thing's called? Like I'm not trying to do graphics in my terminal, for crying out loud. But it's Wayland, yeah. So at some point I'll move to Wayland, but I'm still on X here. Not that I need to be on X, although OBS runs better on X. And I hear a number of other things, like browser stuff gets real slow on Wayland. But it's been a while since I've tried Wayland. But I know Sway is fine for me, because it's basically i3, but not i3. For Xorg from your cold dead hands. What are you gonna do when they put System D on FreeBSD, Swills? You know what's gonna happen someday. Somebody is gonna put System D onto FreeBSD. You're a Sway enjoyer? Nice. Yeah, like a couple years ago now, I don't even remember how many. I tried moving to Sway, but I had to basically immediately stop. Because I was running 3 monitors at the time, and 2 of them were DisplayPort daisy chained, and Sway idle couldn't wake the monitors back up. So it was a bug in it, and I was just like, well, shit. Unpossible? Yeah, exactly. One day you too can know the pleasure of System D. What? Somebody's gonna revive Debian K FreeBSD, and they're gonna put System D on there because it's in Debian now. It was .h, right? Yeah, not 91. Adds all the members from one conversation members to the other. You'll have System D? System D has grown too many limbs. I like the ideas it's trying to do, and it's okay, but it's grown too many limbs and it's doing way the hell too much shit. More user hostile software? Yeah. You don't spawn anything from Sway. You might do everything's a you. Yeah, no. Nope. Oh, actually, I use Dex. That's generate and execute application type .desktop file. So in .local / share auto start. No, where is it? Local lib auto start. Where the fuck is this? Oh, .config auto start. Right? Boom. There you go. So whatever desktop files are here, they get ran automatically as startup by Dex. So you use Dex as well? Nice. So like I don't have to give any shits about writing a service file or anything. I just plop a file in here. What if they crash? Well, then I'm gonna notice they crash. But like I really don't need the Ramina applet. But Ramina adds that itself. XF conf migration I probably don't need. Shutter desktop I thought I did. I think I did remove Shutter. I was trying out for new screenshot tools. Yeah. All right. So whatever. Like I don't need this shit to be running full time. Oh, the config auto start directory. Yeah. Yeah. So like applications put stuff there, like when you run them and stuff, and you know it just makes stuff easier. So, and then I don't have to go and tinker with stuff. So Rocket, the thing for me is, like, I end up being on tons of machines. Now, I only really have desktops on 4 machines, a Linux desktop on 4 machines, but I am not trying to customize anything more than I absolutely have to, because otherwise things get out of sync everywhere, right? And that sucks. And then you're like, oh, let me go fix this there. And I don't want any part of that. And we're gonna add now too. 3923. Superfluous. Grass issues. Is the ad going or not? What the hell? There's no way to synchronize. Like, I don't want any of that noise, right? Because then once you start doing that, you go down that path, and then you have to do it on every machine, and it's not worth it. Not for me. Like, I just give me defaults and I'll be happy. Or very close to defaults. But like, you can see there's so many people that will have their dot files on GitHub, and the part of their dot files will be when they log in, it'll pull and make sure that they have the latest version, and it's just like, fuck all that noise, man. Just no. All right. There's at least 3 ways you can think of, but they all suck and none are built in or automatic. Yeah. And they're adding an extra network request to your startup. And that's whatever. I'll touch more on that in a second. All right, the gist of it is, for me personally, like, I'm between way too many machines, and like, even if it were to synchronize, A lot of the time, when I'm SSHing into remote machines and stuff, it's usually because there's something wrong. And like, if I have to get delayed for that, even if it's just a couple seconds, it's just annoying, especially when I'm going to fix something, right? But more importantly, like, say, like, I don't know, you're trying to log into your Pi-hole because it's broken, but you need your oh my ZSH config, and that's tied to your dot files, and you can't pull that because your Pi-hole's down, so now you can't log into your Pi-hole, right? It's just like, no, right? So, you know, do whatever works for you. I have way too many machines in my house where I'm never ever going to do that. You haven't had the need to look. Yeah, there's tons of different ways that people have tried to do it and stuff like that, and it's all just amounts to I'm just going to stick with the defaults as much as possible, right? Like, if somebody wants to go and configure the hell out of all their stuff, knock yourself out. It's not for me. I have way too much stuff. Case in point. I have a 5-node Kubernetes cluster in my basement. Now, I can't log into those machines, but that gives you an idea of how many machines I have running. Right? It's just like, oh. Yeah. Shit, I need to update this too. Synchronization, one of the hardest problems in CS. Does that count as cache invalidation? I think it does, right? Because, you know, there's 2 hard problems in comp sci. Naming things, cache invalidation, and off by 1 errors. All right. And DNS2, don't forget the classic one. Yeah. So I guess we have 4 CS problems. This joke is getting too long now. Cache invalidation, synchronization, naming things, DNS, and off by 1 errors. Although if you do it in binary, you can flip them off right before you get to the end. But yeah. Don't forget auth. I don't know. Auth is kind of sort of solved now, I think. I don't know. Yeah, like, I know people are trying to kill passwords, but like, okay, you guys are going too far with this. Packaging software. There you go. Just Docker all the things, right? Docker's going to solve all the problems. It solved all of them. What are you even talking about? They are solved now. Lockless memory allocation is nice. Yeah, Flatpak seems all right. Oh, actually, yeah, you could put Comlink in Flatpak. Although the Flatpak experience deployment experience is something else, especially when your software is not GA or general availability. Some of those people are cool. Some of them are wow. We'll just go with that. Contributions welcome, yeah. Hey, I had to go that. Well, no, I was gonna say I had to go through that. You get to go through it too, but no, I got a billion other things going on. Like I said, I already had a fun time dealing with some of the Flatpak people. Let's just go with that. We'll put it that way. But actually, the contribution doesn't even go to your stuff. It would go to FlatHub directly. Yeah, nobody did it yet. Like I was saying earlier, right? So the Pidgin 2 stuff in FlatHub, like that, I didn't put it there. Just some random people packaged it. So like it's possible somebody could have done it for Comlink. But the Flatpak stuff lives in its own repository. Because they keep pretty tight tabs on stuff, and it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I get it, but it's also kind of ridiculous. I thought I had another commit, but I guess not. All right. Oh, Seagull stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So 39.25. Seagull. Is Senpai? No, it's in Debian. So I'm on Debian unstable or experimental, so it might be what is it? Tracker Debian.org, no, .net. I need to start using the tracker more, and I don't remember where it is. Is it .org? Yes, .org. So yeah, this is only in testing or unstable. So yeah. But I started using Debian unstable way back in the day. Because I was trying to use GTK 2.4 in Pidgin. Yes, 2.4. And it was only in Debian experimental. And to use experimental, you have to use unstable. So I've been using unstable that long. So my main workstation sits in Debian unstable with bits of experimental every now and then. But my other machines tend to be testing or like servers are stable. Excuse me. Hard drive's just falling off the desk. I guess I yawned too hard. 39.25. Shit, it's right. 12:30. What are you doing, mister? You think you're gonna get more treats? Well, I turned off the camera. They can't see you. Oh, hi. Oh. Scratchy scratch. We are working on Pidgin Instant Messenger. Right now, we're merging some pull requests for some support libraries. Seagull is on 7. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. We'll just pull, and then we'll go that way. So this was next dev. Ichifrun, Myzar, next dev. I have to look around a cat right now, that's why I keep scooching weird. There's a cat right in front of me. Next dev. That's default. Yep. Yeah, so Pidgin has been named Pidgin since 2006. Before that, it was named Game, G-A-I-M. Yep, that would probably be the case. So the contribution thing is, it's not a matter of using Mercurial. It's a matter of people get scared of our code base. I hate this question so much because it's Mercurial and Git aren't different enough for people's unwillingness to even attempt to use Mercurial, and that annoys me a lot. I'm not the sole developer. I'm the lead developer. Our numbers have dwindled over the years. There's a few of us, but I'm the lead right now. Yeah, it's distributed version control. The problem is before Git, there was Bitkeeper, and they decided to do their own thing, right? And Linus was using Bitkeeper for the kernel, and they did their own thing. But like over in this alternate reality, we had RCS, CVS, SVN, monotone, darks, Bazaar. I'm missing one or two in there. I can't remember. And then we got Mercurial right around the same time. We got Git. Git famously built by Linus. Mercurial built by Olivia McCall. I think that's right. Also a kernel developer. Obviously, we know which one got more popular, and we know why, right? Because everyone's like, Linus is going to do it again, and they forced it to become super popular. And yeah, but the thing is that everything else that's not Bitkeeper or Git has all the same command sets, right? The main difference with Bazaar, Darks, Monotone, and Mercurial to the other ones are you have push and pull. So Pidgin's repository went CVS, SVN, Monotone, Mercurial. We went to Mercurial in about 2011. And I voted for Mercurial. Let's go with that. And I might have suggested it and kind of pushed it more because I was using Mercurial for all my stuff at that point. But I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we're just gonna, yeah. TLDR, I fucking hate Git. It is not the amazing tool everyone thinks it is. People just are dumb. Didn't I pull? I thought I pulled. I feel like there's a certain historical perspective or similarity that's similar between FreeBSD users and Mercurial users. Why is that? Did I do that from my laptop? I must have. Oh, no, I already pruned it. Didn't I? Did. God damn it! I'm like, I can't prune it. Where's the commit go? I already pruned it. One of the big things Mercurial has over Git. So you may have recently, there was a post recently talking about how GitHub still has an add Git bundle, blah, blah, blah. And if you look up Eric Von Gist clone bundles, so Eric Von Gist.
This is Git.
Oh wait, no. This is okay. So Eric Von Gist. This might be the right thing. I'm not sure it is or not. But it looks like it's going to cover it anyways. He used to work at Atlassian on Bitbucket on the Mercurial stuff, right? Bitbucket used to be Mercurial only until they decided that they needed to add Git repositories. So they made the fucking decision to move all their internal repositories from Mercurial to Git to force everybody to learn it, which of course meant everybody fucking just stopped learning Mercurial and they didn't care about it anymore, and eventually they killed it. But Mercurial has this thing called clone bundles. So if you've done anything with large projects, stuff like that, or like even cloned a large project, you'll see it take some time, right? Because it's got to go through each commit. And if you know how distributed version control systems work with Merkle trees, and you have to have the parent to get the child and so on, all the way through the entire tree, blah, blah, blah. The problem is when you do a normal clone, you're not just getting a big burst of data from the server, you're getting a commit, you're hashing it, you're verifying it, you're getting the next commit, you're hashing it, you're verifying it, blah, 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 blah. That obviously slows down your download speed because you don't download revisions that are possibly bad. at least until you verified the ones that you have are good. So what ends up happening is, so what a clone bundle is Mercurial has this format called a bundle that is essentially a number of change sets put together. In Git, you'd call them, are they change sets in Gits? Or are they objects? I don't know. I don't know the specifics. You shouldn't have to care, right? But you can take like a patch set from Mercurial and move it into a bundle. And then what you can do is you can pull from that bundle, like you can pull from a remote, right? So what they did on Bitbucket, and there's an extension for Mercurial to do it, and you can do it on other stuff. I haven't built it into HTKeeper yet, but I need to at some point. But what'll happen is when you're doing an initial clone, you can ask the clone bundles repository or plugin. There's a maybe it's not even a plugin. It might be built in. The docs on it are kind of shitty. But you can list a bunch of different options on where to download bundles from. So instead of going through that process where you download a single commit, hash it, then download the next one, and so on, right? It's going to be slow because you're based on I/O on the where you're CPU bound on the client, but you're still I/O bound on pulling from the server, right? So it leaves a long transaction open on the server, which sucks for numerous reasons, balancing on the server and all this other bullshit. So what happens with the clone bundle is you download the entire clone bundle, which is one big fat file that the server can just burst to you, right? And you're not doing any of the checksumming in between. And then you can, since you have the file locally, it can then just pull directly from that, and it can do all the checksumming on your local disk, and the network's pulled out of the equation, right? You basically have separated the two concerns. So you get the entire download, and then you do all the I/O on your machine. Now, that works for cloning, but there's also pull bundles. Same deal, right? So what you do is, the idea is for the clone bundles, you update your clone bundle, like you could say once a month or something, right? So anybody that does a fresh clone, they just download, all your history up, up to the current month from that. And then you do like weekly pull bundles and like maybe a daily one, right? So like you do like the first of the month, the 7th of the month, whatever, you build a pull bundle for all those. And then you just do, up to 7 days, and then you roll into the next one. And what you can do is, or what'll happen then is if somebody's like 2 months behind and they pull, they will get a pull bundle of just those commits that were missing, and then you're fine. Right? Now, Eric's talk, which I closed the thing. What's the date on this? 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And actually, I think it was even longer than this. 2017 doesn't seem far back enough. But like, so Eric did a talk on this at some Git conference. I don't remember what it was, but, and like, just nothing really happened with it. Right. And this is one of the things I've said forever is if you want to see the new research ideas, the innovation, stuff like that in version controls, it's not in Git. For whatever reason, I've got nothing against the Git developer. I don't even remember their name. I've got nothing against them, but like, you don't ever hear about any like novel new features in Git. It's always just like some bullshit like, like we've got Git switch now instead of branch, or checkout minus B, right? Like shit that should have been there from the beginning. That's their new features, right? Whereas Mercurial's like, all right, cool. We got clone bundles, we got pull bundles, and then the big thing, change set evolution. Change set evolution is amazing. In Mercurial, we don't force push. We don't force pull. We don't have to. Right? So, okay, so you just saw me clean up some stuff here on my branch. So, oh, that's not what I meant. Okay. So we have the obsolescence log, and holy shit, they gave me a lot. Did I get the whole thing? Okay, I guess it did a lot with this. Oh shit, hold on, I'm in the wrong code base. I don't want to look at that one. That one I have done a lot. In Seagull, this would be much easier. So we can see, okay, wait. I need to just say HLG. So we've got this revision here, prepare for the next round of development, right? So if I grab this and I say HG-olog -r this, we will see that I had a commit here with this hash that got replaced by this commit, right? So rewritten description, date, and branch from this commit using prune by me at this date and time. change set evolution does not lose history. Now, the data from the commit is gone, but you can still follow it along to see where it came from, right? So when somebody's amended history and pushed it to the main repo, when you pull, you have the obsolescence log, which helps you walk through it, and therefore you don't need to potentially blow away your database or your checkout because you did a force pull, right? Like a force pull can delete the parent to the commit you're working on, and then you're just SOL, right? And change set evolution just works around all of that, and it just makes everything happy, everything's fine, it's not a big deal. Then there's another amazing Mercurial feature called HD Absorb. So if you have a stack of changes, like you'll see me do this a lot. I do it by hand because I feel more confident with that. And you don't get a whole lot of control over Absorb. But what Absorb will do is if you're building a series of changes, right? And you need to edit a file that was changed 2 commits ago, instead of updating to that commit, committing what you have, and then rebasing everything on top of that new commit, you can run HD Absorb, which will then try to guess based off of the file that was changed. I think it says it puts it in the last one. Absorb and analyzes each change in your working directory and attempts to amend the change lines into the change sets in your stack that first introduced those lines. Right, so like if you modify something, you can then absorb it into 2 commits earlier, and you don't have to do the rebase or anything yourself, right? This is a very, very powerful tool. Oh, you can do it interactively. And like, as far as I know, Git doesn't have anything like that. You're SOL and you have to rebalance your patches and everything, and you're just fine, right? And these things have been in Mercurial for years, but Git's better because it's popular, and that's just, it's wrong, right? Just 100% wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying, Swills. But okay. With JJ? What's a JJ? Oh, wait. That's not Pidgin. I saw this. I don't remember what it is. Jujitsu. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. I haven't looked at that at all though, obviously, because I can't remember the name. But like the thing is, like, people get Stockholm syndrome about Git, right? Like, in my experience, people don't want to learn another version control tool because they think it's going to be as bad as Git, right? Like, there's this nonsense which actually looks like it could be a real thing, right? Git pioneer directory -- no unite pipe no instigate injure working tree blah blah blah, right? This Git is so just stupidly overcomplicated to the point where it feels like people are like, yeah, I'm smart because I know Git, so I'm just going to keep making it more confusing, right? Like, it's a fucking tool. It should be easy to use. It shouldn't be this difficult. Just don't want to learn another VCS because I just don't care enough. I mean, okay, so here's the trick to using Mercurial for Git users. Forget about the stage. The stage is a horrible idea. Stop using it. It lets you do all sorts of horrible things you shouldn't be doing as a developer. And then step 2 is, instead of typing Git, type HG. And you're done. Oh, JJ is a front end to Git. Maybe someday we'll have their own storage model. Yeah, maybe. But the thing is, like, there's nothing you need to learn about Mercurial. I don't know why people say they have to learn it. What you have to do is unlearn all the fucking nonsense Git has forced you to do. Maybe your work is just too I don't know, man. I like... What? These two are very different things, even though they sound like they should be the exact same thing, and they take all the same arguments. But they are very, very different. You have to learn how to use HG to Git projects. I mean, so there's this thing called Git Remote HG, and there's HG Git. Like, these things already exist, right? So anybody using Git can use Git Remote HG, and they can contribute to Pidgin. And in fact, Ian Robb, who does a ton of the third-party protocol plugins for Pidgin and has them all on GitHub, he uses HG Git because he prefers HG. I, on the other hand, fucking hate Git, so I don't use it at all, as much as I can avoid it. But again, there's that whole default thing, right? So like when I'm at work and I got to jump between servers and stuff, and if I'm using Git on the servers, I have to use Git directly because I'm not going to go and set up HG Git on every damn thing. And then install Mercurial and blah, blah, right? So it's a pain. I'm not saying you should convert repos SWK. I'm like, everybody needs to do what they need to do. The problem is the presumption that everybody needs to be using Git. Right? Like, so Rocket Jerk, but they didn't mean to start this at all. But the whole thing was, how many contributors do you get because of HG? And the fact is, what version control we use shouldn't matter. Right? It shouldn't matter. Back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, there'd be days where I would use CVS, Subversion, Darks, and HG all in the same day. And it just didn't matter. There was no fucks were given because it didn't matter. How dare you imply people don't need to use Git? Yeah. Right? But now, like, everybody is so scared and frightened of Git. Like, how many people here... How's it going, Axel? Welcome, welcome. You're here right as I'm in the middle, or you're rating right as I'm in the middle of a Git rant. So you'll love this. How many people here set a remote origin? And how many people type git push origin main for everything? You love rants about tooling? Nice. But how was your stream? How's it going? Hopefully everything went well. Right? Stream went well? Awesome, awesome. But like, you host some stuff on SourceHut and GitHub, and even people I know use SourceHut still send you pull requests on GitHub. So, like, take away that option. Why put it on both? It's just creating more problems for you. You're typing git push origin main, you're doing it wrong. Yes, and SWK. Nearly everybody I know does it that way. Because that's what Gidiots do. They don't know the tool enough on how to set up a default remote. Yet they will swear by the tool being amazing. And I'm just sitting here like, number one, when you clone the repo from that, why the fuck wasn't it made the default? Right? Because, like, that's generally what you're going to do. And then number two, there's the part I just said. You set yours in a global config and roll with it? Sure. The API for what? Oh, sorry. You got a lot done. The API for your reworking your testing library to make it work better and look nicer. API is getting a huge improvement. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Rocker Rager. Lots of people type git push origin main because one time they pushed it wrong and they were like, we'll just always do this from going forward. Even though on the screen it says you can set the default remote with this. They will still type the damn command. But to be fair, that's the people that are actually using Git from the command line. That's not the people that are using Git from their editor or Git Kraken or whatever else. And those people that also, Git's amazing. And it's just, okay. Seriously, Git push fatal. Current branch foobar has no upstream branch to push the current branch. Yeah. Git push setup. Yeah. Yeah, I just said they see that, but they What do you use otherwise, Swills? Is it upstream or something? Is that your default? But like the problem is Git itself was built to be distributed, but then GitHub came along and re-centralized it. And people just can't deal with that. How's it going, Last Miles? Welcome, welcome. Right, and like that's a huge part of the problem of it is just like you can do everything you want in Git with SVK. SVK gives you offline commits and better merging to Subversion. And then everybody can use that, and then they can stop bitching about, oh, you have to have a linear tree, we squash and rebase everything, blah, blah, blah. Just fucking use Subversion at that point. Just shut the fuck up and go use Subversion with SVK. Because that's what you're doing. You don't care how your team does it. Yeah, look, exactly. I'm not saying there's any right or wrong way. I'm saying there's a whole lot of issues with Git itself. As long as they push what they push works, yeah. Remote names are, yeah. Git push annoying Gary branching too often. Yes, I'm sure you do. We'd love to self-host repos with the LLM scrapers that have been playing in SourceHouse and GitLab. Yep, us too. We even our own custom Mercurial HD Keeper at keep.iamfreedom.org has also been getting killed by the fucking AI scrapers. There. All right, gotta turn that off. So here's that server. This is how I have been dealing with them. This is Baidu, and I forget what other ones. I've just been banning entire autonomous systems. Just gone. Don't accept any traffic from them. I see a checkout for the win. Yep, there you go. Still think CVS was working? So more than it should, because we used to have everything sponsored and I just haven't reached out to get them to responsor. So I've been paying it out of pocket. But roughly for all our infrastructure, about $200 a month, which is a lot. We should build the fuck LLM's blacklist. Yes. And there's a huge part of it right there. But the thing is, like, for most of our stuff, like, we shouldn't be getting hit by data centers at all. So we can just block those ranges, right? No one's going to our code hosting site through a cloud provider. And if they are, they're doing shit wrong. And we're in an ad. Well, we should be in an ad here. Have I seen Anubis? Yeah, I have a tab open for Anubis. I'm probably going to set it up. Yeah, go ahead for Drew DeVault. That's fine. You're going to post his blog post? Go for it. Yeah, like I said, I have Anubis up on a tab on the other screen. I need to get it installed at some point, but I haven't yet. And we're in an ad now, so nobody's probably hearing me. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What the fuck were you doing? We pushed. We did not land the next one. Because we got all into talking about version control and other stuff. Add aliases for columns. 3926. You just emailed him to apologize that you missed a payment, and he comes back and says, hey man, you do stuff, you get 6 months free. Oh, really? He never gave me an offer for free when we were talking about putting Pidgin on SourceHut. We were discussing how to get the mailman archives over there, though. But no, that's cool though. And I'm not complaining. I'm being whatever. I'm just being a punk. I mean, we've seen a lot of churn, but our code's not nearly as big as you think it is anymore. But the problem for us is still SourceHut's contribution model. Like, I understand what they're going for, but the problem is, like Nobody wants to fucking use email for patches. Except, like, an eccentric few. And, like, more importantly... So, the problem with that number is a bit facetious because it also includes translations. And the translations use a lot. You want to use email for patches? All right, that's fair, right? But, like, a lot of people don't. Dennis, the more important thing to look at here. So this will be a little different, but so libpurple 2, including the protocols, is 200,000 lines of code. Does this work? I don't think I can do this. Oh, maybe I can. Whereas Purple 3 right now is 47,000 lines of code. So we have deleted 150,000 lines of code, and we do more. Well, we don't have as many protocols supported right now, but we do. We have more flexibility and stuff now. But yeah, I'm not saying it's not big. It's just, you know, there's lots of stuff that changed. But my bigger issue with the source hut thing, and maybe they've changed it now, I don't know. But the bigger issue for me is that not even so much the email part, but the fact that they require you to use your normal email for the patches. And, like, I can kind of see that because you want to get replies and stuff like that. But, like, just fucking accept mail on SourceHut for your SourceHut users using your SourceHut credentials. And then people don't have to worry about, like, you know, mixing their personal email with their development stuff and passwords and shit. And yeah. Well, Rockager, we've also moved a lot of stuff to libraries, and we've deleted a lot of protocols and stuff like that. So it's a bit of column A, a bit of column B, a bit of shifting stuff around and everything. Entire Unix kernel way back when was less than 20K. Yeah, I can see it. But, like, so here, even Seagull, right? So Seagull's one of our new libraries. This is... I shouldn't do it here. I should do it here. This is 2,213 lines of code, right? And this is just to give us a better and easier and helper API around SQLite. Right? Or we go to our plugin library, and just the core of it is 7,000 lines of code. But then Lua and Python's another 1,200 lines, right? Or we can go to our Sassel library, because we wrote one of those now too. Right? That's another 2,400 lines of code. And yeah, so stuff's been moved around, and yeah. You can send patches with any... Right, but Rockager, my point is, if you're already contributing to SourceHut, you have a SourceHut user account. SourceHut is spread across a bunch of different servers. There's all sorts of different stuff. If they accepted email, just incoming, from SourceHut users, then you could submit patches that way, and it'd be fine. Although I suppose that's probably part of the problem, right? Is how you have to then go notify everyone, but they already have to have email set up. Yeah, so they have to bounce it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. Happy to see me jazz and do my thing. Yeah, well, we're supposed to release in a week, and we're not going to get everything done I wanted to, which sucks. So, yeah, good. Yeah, I'm guessing your trip probably isn't happening now, Dennis. Oh, yep, sounds good. And those of you that don't know Dennis, aka Last Miles, he also streams here on Twitch. He does lots of weird esoteric stuff, like fixing bugs in compilers and shit like that. So if that sounds like your jam, go give him a follow. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of like shell game stuff moving around, that kind of stuff. So like in Purple 2, we have 2 XMPP implementations. That's a good example of dumbness that we have from back then. We have XMPP for the XMPP protocol plugin, and then we have a very small subset of XMPP implemented for the Bonjour or link local messaging support. In Pidgin 3, we've pulled that out to its own library. It doesn't quite work yet, but then the protocol plugins then just call the library, right? So we're removing duplicated code, right? And this is also why, like, what version control tool we use doesn't matter, because contributors aren't going to follow this kind of stuff, right? We're not at a state, and we haven't been at a state in a long time, where, like, there's low-hanging fruit for new entry-level contributors, right? Like, if you want to contribute to the project, you've got to dig in, right? And the vast majority of people out there are not going to do that. So I'm not going to go use a tool I fucking hate to try to appease some people that aren't going to show up, right? So hopefully that answers that question. Yeah, I can't do that yet. All right, add alias for columns, issue minus R column aliases. All right, let's have some fun. Seagull test statement, HE shelf. Up default, HE unshelf. Oh, look, there's no confusing commands. It's not like I had to type git stash and then git stash apply. And remember to use apply, not pop. I told it to shelf something, and then I told it to unshelf it. And it just worked. I mean, we got the merge conflict because we were expecting that, but it just, version control tool that just fucking makes sense. And look, there's the files that have conflicts. Okay, changelog, I don't know. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah, changelog is a stupid one. Because I had to bump this to 0.4. Which means mason.build also has the same thing. Yep. This is gonna, yep, okay, cool. And oh look, I can use short versions of commands too. Oh my god. Like hgstat. I don't have to write an alias for that. It's just there, it exists. But wait, it gets even better. I can type hgstu and it, okay, stu is still ambiguous. I can type stat and it'll give me both. I don't have to type status. So we're gonna do the Rust rewrite? Yeah. Uh-huh. When Trump willingly leaves office, that's when we're going to rewrite in Rust. That's when we're going to rewrite in Rust. Because we all know that's not going to happen. All right, that's there. That's cool. We could do the Seagull thing right now. There's still an ass ton of stuff to do in Haya. And hanging around. Was that a pun? If you don't know what I'm saying, don't worry about it. All right. So, Olive Carter, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. So Haya is a new MDNS client library because the MDNS libraries that are out there are not even necessarily the libraries that are out there. The problem is to implement link local messaging in Purple 3, we need to write an abstraction layer to talk to MDNS because there's different MDNS implementations on Windows, Mac, and Linux. So we have to write an abstraction layer regardless. So we opted to create a new library so that anybody can then write their own desktop application that uses MDNS and use that library and then not have to write the abstraction themselves. So that's what Haya is, and we're trying to get at least the Avahi stuff done, or at least I was by the release next week, so we can implement link local messaging. But the problem is I don't have this working yet, so I don't even know if the XMPP stuff works right, and I know big parts of it don't, and I have none of it wired up. So yeah, this is where we are. But so we started implementing the Avahi backend. Avahi is what you use on Linux and BSD, and I think Haiku even. But on Windows, after Windows 10, Microsoft has their own MDNS implementation, and on Mac, you just use Bonjour. So yeah. But so there was an important thing we had to do on Service Browser. I need to add a signal, sig failure, because this is the part I got stuck on last night. But yeah. Service browser emitted when the service browser has hit an error. Sure. Oh, we should probably put the error in here. The error. But yeah, I don't know. The US is in a crazy fucking situation right now. And anybody who seems to disagree with that, I assure you, it's bad. I saw something about people calling. Apparently, the World Cup is going to be hosted here in 2026 or so, and people are like, "Yeah, we should boycott." Like countries wanting to boycott. You're just like, "Oh, I get it." Took me a minute because I'm used to seeing that as SSDD, not same old shit, different day. And I would disagree that it's same shit, different day. That's, I mean, you're free to believe whatever you want, but shit I've been seeing very different. But whatever. Oh, that's right. We're gonna delete this API too because that needs to get out of here. Oh yeah, I was gonna do this as a separate pull request. That's what it was. Hold on. Let's keep going this way. The only difference to there being more open about it. I wouldn't say that's the only difference. They are definitely being more open. But like, they're picking fights with people for apparently no reason, right? Namely Canada, Mexico, UK, right? And like that seems stupid, right? Like this whole tariff trade war bullshit is, I mean, like if the plan is to drive the stock market down so that they can buy everything cheap and then, you know, fuck off with the trade war and make money on the stocks getting better, okay. Like that's just pure market manipulation and should be illegal. But if otherwise, like, why the fuck else is the trade war stuff going on, right? It's just it's stupid. Like, Trump, like he claims he got concessions that he wasn't getting before, but that's not true, right? Yeah, I know it's what he does all the time, but like he like it shouldn't be happening. Is my point, right? And just I don't know. Everything's a fucking mess. It's yeah. No point in the Fed. Yeah, and who's just gotten ousted from all of those places? Oh yeah, and like explain to me that closing the the Department of Education, how that's a good thing. I like what Oh, let's leave it up to the states. Great. Yeah, states' rights. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Double eight Starmer? Trash in the UK all by himself? Doesn't need outside help for... Okay, I don't know anything about that. But yeah. Oh, boy. We should probably stop talking about this because we're probably not going to agree on any of this. I will say, it seems pretty ridiculous to me that the woman that is in charge of dismantling the Department of Education is Linda McMahon. It seems weird and ironic. You've had kids in schools and directly firsthand seen waste driven by the Department of Education. Dude, my mom was a public school teacher for 20 fucking years. I have quite an opinion on public education. But the problem is, the Department of Education itself isn't the sole reason why shit gets fucked up. The secretary, okay. Versus working in the classroom and then mentoring new teachers, okay. I mean, it's not just parents; it's school boards. It's a million things. But I don't understand how just entirely throwing something away instead of, trying to discover and address problems makes any fucking lick of sense. Summer is about UK 3-letter agency established as it gets 008 like a bat. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Thank you for explaining your. Like, all the shit that's going on right now with shutting down everything is just for, like, no fucking good reason. Like, just, fix shit. Instead of just, oh, just cut it away. Right, yep. They used to do that, too, in the Civil War. They amputated everybody. Now, they actually, like, give you antibiotics and shit. Yeah, as SWK, we're not going to agree. We need to stop this conversation because one of us is going to say something's going to piss off the other one. But my stance there is, just for completeness, instead of just completely trailing off, is government for the people, by the people. And I don't see how any of this gets to that point. Right. I don't see how small government and libertarian ideas get you anywhere towards for the people, by the people. Because most libertarian ideas are the people have to do everything on their own. It's eventually what it amounts to. And that's just not feasible. Oh, I'm sorry. People should have the freedom to do whatever they want. Again, this is going to get real gross real quick. We're not going to talk about this anymore because we come from very different backgrounds. We have very different experiences. We're yeah, right. All right, so we're out of the service failure signal or browser failure. We want to get rid of start and stop because these aren't actually used, but we'll come back to that in a second. I think I should probably do that as a separate pull request, but if we're going to put the failure stuff in here, what else do we have here? Yeah, I understand. And that's not the way it should be. Yep, have a good one, Axel. Thanks again for the raid. Have a good night. Oh, we're looking at service browser. We added failure. That's all that stuff. Oh, we changing client. Okay, that's because I moved stuff. Okay, that's cool. Avahi. Okay, cool. So what happened? Is she add Avahi service browser ch Avahi util. Shell name service browser. Ah, shit. I forgot to do this the right way. There we go. I was like, 6 files. I meant to run turtle and I forgot. Alright, so now we got the failure stuff in there. But I also wanted to kill these because this doesn't make sense anymore. We're changing the meaning of how this stuff works. Which is fine. Just it needs to go away. The original idea was that other things were going to control the start and stop of the service browsers, but most of the service browsers get started during creation. So having a start and stop on them does not make sense. Do. Test service browser, of course, does not have this anymore, and that's not what I want. Start stop goes away, and we have to add a signal for the other one. Where's start stop? What's up here? That's not what I meant to hit. Gnusi unused. No, we don't need this at all. We still need these functions because they're part of the GObject stuff. We can't get rid of them. That's okay. Start and stop. Those are gone. Service browser is abstract, so we still need to create an instance. So it's a little weird, it's a little crappy, but it's alright. Failure counter equals 0. This one's going to be different, though. Static void, test IO service, browser, Failure counter. Failure callback. Morning, Ivanhoe. How you doing? I'm gonna have to create an error for this, which is annoying, but it's okay. G assert error, comma, test error. Yeah. Oh, we're not gonna clear the error here though. G error star error equals null. Failure counter, cool. Error equals G error. New error. Blah. Service browser. I didn't connect the signal yet. Service browser failure. Service. Oh, it's a service. Oh, yeah, okay. We can do this before this. I'm like, what the hell? G assert compare uint. Failure counter equals 1. Dang it. Oh, did I not put that in the header file? Yeah, look at that. At error. The error. Failure signal. This should be transfer none. Subclasses, emit signals, and yep. Failure. G error. What? Oh, it's the wrong type. Yeah. See how this one's cast? I didn't cast it on the other one. Oh, what do we abort for? Failure counter equals 0. What line? 122. We didn't reset it to 0. That's my fault. Initially, this was the first test. So everything was nulled out. Or zeroed out. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this all here. There we go. And now they're all set to 0 ahead of time. It's going all right, Dan. How about yourself? How you doing? Service browser tweaks. Add Haya.service browser failure. Remove the start and stop if you funks. Most service browsers are immediately created during instantiation. So, there is no need for start and stop functions. Start the workday with a cup of coffee. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Um. Okay, that works. 3928. Oh, I didn't run the test under Valgrind. Service browser. Okay. And we did run the turtles. Nice. E-test under Valgrind and called in the turtles. So maybe we'll get Haya done by next week, but we're definitely not going to get link local messaging done, which sucks, but it's okay. Not the end of the world. All right. Publish. She's done. Yeah, well, we'll find out here. All right, gets muted. All right, I don't know if she's actually coding, but we're gonna go raid Talons because she hasn't been on in a long time. So we're gonna get out of here, but we're gonna go raid her. If you don't want to join the raid, you can go ahead and hit cancel up above the chat. YouTube, I can drop you a link to her channel, but she's not on YouTube as far as I know. So whatever. We're gonna go head over there. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe, follow on Twitch, and subscribe on YouTube, and hit the notification bell for your desired level of notification. In the meantime, you can find links to all my social media right over here, and I do post on my Mastodon when I go live. And if that's not enough, you can join us on the officially unofficial Pidgin Discord as well, which you can find a link to right over here. So thank you everybody for coming by tonight, and until next time, adios.